Yet I keep flirting, face deaf like a Steve Irwin. Whole heat, I'ma drink thermos till the bartender keeps serving. I'm trying to be perfect, using dirty shit to clean dirt with. Only happy when the weed burning, traded oxygen to breathe herb in. Smoke till I see curtains, lungs fail and they cease working. There is something that I need urgent, suffocating, trying to squeeze words in. What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Mad bless, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address, down on my last cent. Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet from my last rent. Swear this shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's debt, never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever and the last left.
I let the record show. I let the tech explode. Put on the weapon show. Pull up the Texaco. Knuckles in Mexico. Call up the technical. Then know the text will blow. Shot to Plexico. Turn you to vegetable. Body electrical. Acid and alkaline. Body so flexible. The shooter's feast like a Uber Eats. Got a group of these suited, these scooter bees. While letting the Uzi Aruga speak. An American God up in Cuba eats. The powers they seek and powers the weak. They follow in creeps. Powers that be inherit the world from cowards and sheep. Bit to the mountaintop towers and peaks. Flowers and sweets and showered our feet. The lightning and thunder that shower the sleep. Shower the D's. This not a verse, this our receipts.
What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Mad bless, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address, down on my last cent. Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet from my last rent. Swear this shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's debt, never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever and the last left.
It's like a track finish. I attract women, they the bad women. I'ma splash in them, leave a bag with them. Then I raise seeds to be mad different. If I die now, I'm coming back in them. Cause they dad missing, but they cash dripping. Cause they royalty, so they brag different. Ain't no ass kissing, never had feelings. Seen a white victim and a black witness. Mac gripping on my last mission. Yak sipping, blowing blackism. Gat missing, he was lack slipping. Smack hit him, now we act different. Apparition, the bad vision. The Mac a chip him and crash the system. Uncle Tom, cause you that willing. Fuck the law, I'm going back to living. Astral prisms of black religions. Activisms of conversations. Sacrilegious, the palms of Satan. Black magicians, Babylon erasing. Raise our hands to the God we praising. Hustling, the marathon we racing. Nipsey at the finish line, he waiting.
What I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Mad bless, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address, down on my last cent. Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet from my last rent. Swear this shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's debt, never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever and the last left.
Woo! There you have it, family. There you have it. Last Breath off of the Black Magic album. Yeah, peep the braids. Yeah, we doing fractals. Off the Last Breath off of Black Magic album featuring Red Pill and Blue Pill, produced by Father Rich, aka Brother Rich, aka Black Magic. Alright. So with that being said, Holy Ghost 2 is the name of the album. Go and stream it. With that being said, and a new project is on the way. Okay, it's on the stove, cooking. The streets has given me a lot of material to write about. So when I think I'm finished, shit starts bubbling, and I gotta add more ingredients to the pot. You know what I'm talking about? So we working on a project. I might give y'all a mixtape before Scorpion King. I might give y'all the Jason months, right? The Jason months. That's gonna be probably me and my features, right? That'll be a album, maybe 10 tracks, 10 to 13. Me and a bunch of other people. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we'll give you that. And it's gonna be very street orientated. It's gonna look like New York is feeling right now. It's gonna be drill, Brooklyn. Yeah, we'll call it Netaroo drill. It's not Brooklyn drill, it's Netaroo drill. So look out for that. That's coming real soon. Don't the the galactical bars when we on the International Space Station, that'll be on Scorpion King. This right here, this is ride out music, right? This is vibing music. This is for the vibes. When I'm talking about, this is vibe heavy, and it has a multiple regional. So I'm giving you some down south heat. I'm giving you that 90s boom bap that crews like the Griselda, they got that sound, the old 90s, the what's that? How many beats per minute? 90 beats per minute, I think. You know? So yeah, the people look, you know what I was gonna call it? I was gonna call it the Corona Pack. I had told Blue Pill earlier, like in February, we was in the studio with Just B when we did, I think we recorded Theta Waves and like three other songs that night. I'm like, yo, let's do something called a Corona Pack. I had foresight, I had vision. He shot that down ferociously. And I was like, damn, I don't want to do it no more. So I think, I don't know if I want to make it a Corona related project. But first and foremost, let's do the roll call. Because I could talk all night. All right. Let's do the roll call. We heavy in the building. You know what I'm talking about? We are definitely in the building. I already see it that the family from all around the world pulled up. But let's tap in. I see Oakland in the building. Shout out to Oakland. Make sure y'all go and check out the brother 19 Keys on Instagram. We did a live last night, like 3 in the morning. It was like 3 in the morning Eastern time. Lasted to like 4:30, I think. And we were going in having an intelligent conversation with two Kangs about Nick Cannon and some other things. So I might upload it to my YouTube channel. So, the family who don't go on IG or who doesn't, they won't listen to the directions. They on a lazy shit. We might just put it right on IG. But it's a very poignant conversation that was being had. A lot of gems was being dropped. Yeah, that was an epic live. I'm talking about. Look, I'm gonna put this. This is for you, Keys. You know what I'm talking about? You getting some traction in here. I done told you I got a few DMs already. Yeah, they on you, Playboy. You know what I'm talking about? They on the guard. So, that's what's up. Tucson, Arizona's in the building. Shout out to Tucson, Arizona. I heard it's very hot out there. Drink a lot of water. Waco, Texas, always hot in Waco. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Nasty Natty is in the building. Shout out to the Nat. You know what I'm talking about? Indianapolis. Did y'all talk about Meg the Stallion? We just got here. You know what I'm talking? We didn't talk about Meg. We didn't talk about the Stallion getting shot. We're gonna get into that though. First things first. Yes, Philly's in the building. Stand up, Philly. Rise in power to the brother Michi who they murdered. Yeah, Philly, get your shit together. You know what I mean? Y'all taking too many kangs out of here. It's too much murder in places like Philly and Chirac, you know, Bakersfield, California. I'm talking about. Salute to y'all. Yeah, Chi-Town. Salute to you, Chi-Town. Salute to all of the shoulders, the soldiers in Chi-Town. Columbus, Ohio in a building. That's right. Vegas. I love Vegas. I've done magic in Vegas. I met my son's mother in Vegas at the magic show. And it was magical. You ever had a night that the time slowed down? And the night felt like 24 hours. Yeah, Vegas has that kind of ability to do that. The Bay to LA, yeah. Toronto, Charlotte. Charlotte is definitely Charlotte. I will be there very soon. Jackson, Mississippi. Columbus, Columbia. Oh, Columbia. Cleveland, Ohio. Talk black to me. Wichita, Kansas. Chicago in the building. Milwaukee, they call it Kilwaukee, Strong Island. What's happening in? So that you heard the y'all are the different woo. The new woo was in Brooklyn. Y'all the old school woo. I'm talking about now they telling you to woo back, baby. Miami, Florida, 504 boys, Fayetteville, NC, Indianapolis, Louisville, Kentucky. Look, everybody's here. The whole world is here. We are good. We low cash is in the goddamn building, so you know that we good. North Charleston, right? Yeah, Black Magic Matters. Pregnant woman shot and killed in Philly. That's sad, right? New Haven, New Haven. I like that. I like that. New Haven, Connecticut. That's fire. Harlem in the building. Salute to Harlem. UK. Brr, in it. UK in it. DC, you heard? Yo, one day I'm gonna do the accents to everybody on the roll call. One day I'm gonna do the accents. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna do like how they be having them TikToks where people be doing the accents for the different cities and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna sound like I'm from Baltimore. Yeah. So yeah, let's get into the show tonight. Okay, we know that everybody's here. Salute to all of y'all. I am willing that everyone is here in great physical health, great mental health, great emotional health, great spiritual health, right? Great economic health, right? And all other of the great things that we can be and shall be and will be, when we come together in rooms like this is a sacred space. You know I'm talking about Third Eye Thursdays? This is like when I was in This was like when I was in New York and we used to do Monday and Wednesday classes. Monday was Ali Muhammad, and he had first his group was called ISIS. Then that had to change. Then he turned it into something else. Then on Wednesday classes we had Taj Tariq Bey. Look how epic this was. Taj Tariq Bey, Sister Raz Mariah Bey, Abdullah Mosley Bey, right? And that was the Moorish Heritage class. I was there for 12 years. I think 12 cycles. No, 9 cycles. My bad. 9 cycles. I was there for a minute. In that class, I was able to meet legends that the world knows today, that they're familiar with today, that they didn't know. I met them before the world met them. And that's dope. These individuals have gone on. There's multiple people, but one of these a group of these individuals we had on last night, and that would be the brother Shyam, who goes by the name of Mansa, brother Mansa, and El Almir, right? My good brother El Almir. Okay, and they did a show last night, and it was a classic. I'm talking about. I need y'all to check that out, right? This was a classic right here. Okay, so we did this last night on the same channel right here, Know the Ledge Media. And when we do these Wednesday shows, it's the brand is KTL Radio 2020. So we tap in with guests who we've been riding with for more than 10 years, right? You heard my voice in the Taj video asking about the rabbit. I'm in many Taj videos, you know. I'm in a plethora of Taj videos. Damn near everything that he did in New York, I was always in the audience. I'm in all of the Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmett videos. I'm in the audience, right? I'm a master student. I never popped out and act like I'm ready to dance on that stage. I sat in the audience the same way that y'all are in the audience. So why don't I do super chats? You don't think if I was able to do the super chat, I will? I don't do it because they don't want me to do it, my friend. Unfortunately, the things that people are saying that Nick Cannon, had to sell out so he wouldn't be subjugated to. We've been subjugated to those things for about 10 years. I don't know if people know that or not, but you know, we've been shut down, we've been marginalized, we've been restricted from things for a very long time. And we still are able to function, and we're still able to manifest, and we're still able to do whatever we want to do, and we make it look so easy. You know what I'm talking about? And there's people who have so much more fiat and so much more resources or access, and they can't do 1/10 of it. I'm talking about not even 1,000,000,001 of it, right? 7.3 earthquake in Papua New Guinea. Okay, wow. I got to check into that. Very interesting. The ancestors are waking up. And people are being persecuted over there, correct? So, yeah, y'all make sure, right? Because this was a very poignant conversation, you know. Definitely tap in. If anybody were to see the Moors in Court demonstration in 2020, it would go super viral, right? The demonstration that the brothers did in 2010. Let's say that somebody were to do that in 2020 in a shade room, put it up there or something, with all of the people that are so powerless, with all of the people that are so scared, with all of the people that are so intimidated, with all of the people that are so fearful of the popo, of the police, of authority, right? It's a whole bunch of Negroes. They came out and marched in the millions. They came out and marched in the millions. It's a plethora of those people. It's a lot of scary Negroes who don't got no smoke. They don't have nothing, they don't have no answers, and they are in fear of the law enforcement. These brothers they're the opposite of that. They are, in my humble opinion, the reason why we started to see the blowback from law enforcement. They set it off. They got it lit. They made it go viral. They exposed the Wizard of Oz to a people who never ever thought that this was even possible. That they was taught that the toughest of toughest gangsters look straight down in court. They don't have eye contact with the judge. They don't talk to the judge. They don't question the judge. Maybe a gangster, but the mobsters, all the way down to the most lowliest criminal, the drug dealers, right? The hand to hand boys, the D boys, the trappers, even the gun clappers, they are in court and they're church mice. They hand over everything to who? the same people that Nick Cannon is apologizing to. Those folks. Black Dot and Malcolm call them real estate agents. And that's what we'll call them tonight too. Okay? You know what I'm talking about. All right. So our people, right? Our people are showing up with another group of people from another completely different nationality. These people are entangled to our people because these are our lawyers, these are our accountants, these are our doctors. Let's talk about it, right? And if you're in any kind of entertainment, that's your agents, that's your manager, that's usually your CEO, that's your boss. These are real estate agents. And if you live in an apartment, that's your landlord. That's your super. No, not your super is Dominican. Your landlord comes from, if you live in New York, he's coming from what's that? Eastern Parkway, Crown Heights, right? Or over behind Marcy projects where they have their own communities, right? Those are the landlords. They own the real estate in New York. So not only are they in charge of, because these people are ledgers, right? They're bookkeepers. They started out as bookkeepers. The power's in the pen. So the power's in the ledger and social work, paperwork, clergy, right? Being a clergy and things of that nature. This is what they began to do. So they were the record keepers. So they understood the system by working in it, by being of it, right? Like how Neo went into the Matrix. So these people are aligned with our people. When we go to court, they speak for us. But there's a conflict of interest because we come to find out that these people were instrumental in selling our people. Hold on. These people were instrumental in insuring our people's bodies. Hold on. These people are instrumental in stealing our identities. Hold on. These people are talking about they chosen and they got a Messiah, but the conflict of interest is that we chosen and we are Messiahs and we're Messianic and we got a Messiah. So is it in their best interest to help you and yours to find your Messiah? It would negate theirs. There's a conflict of interest. So if they know that you're Messianic, or if they see the Messiahs in us, right, they're gonna do everything in their power to hold those persons under contracts. They're gonna lock those people down. They might even get them knocked off by doing what? They have provocation. You know what I'm saying? These people own record labels, and they've fed the beefs of many of their artists, which resulted in escalated tensions and things of that nature. These record labels, these multi-million, billion-dollar corporations have bankrolled gangs, murderous gangs. They bankrolled Chief Keef on his murder spree when he knocked off Little JoJo and they went and start cleaning up all them young boys in Chicago. Jibby Iovine and whatchamacallit, who do you think funded all of those millions when they put a bag on your head? That was coming from the budget. That was coming from the budget, show money, and a whole bunch of stuff. So these corporations, they fund. Look, Mason Betha brought Fabio Foreign and helped them get a deal, right? Peter Rosenberg and Old Man Ebro. Old Man Ebro is the program director of Hot 97. He's not somebody he's not a radio personality. He's not a DJ. He is the program director at Hot 97. He's playing mad roles, right? And he's half real estate salesman. He's biracial, right? He's amalgamated. They helped break Fabio Foreign, and they helped break Pop Smoke, and they helped break Casanova, and they helped break Young and May, and they helped break Cardi B, and they helped break every single other person in New York who is an affirmed gang member. So, need I forget the king of them all, the one who brought this demonic energy, he brought this kill this it's like a demonic egregor, Takashi 69, right? The rainbow hair, right? The rainbow hair assassin, right? We're going to talk about what's going on over there at QC with the Migos. So we could properly dissect, unpack, right? And demystify the shit hop industry, right? We could speak about the smoke and the mirrors of a game and an industry that is spiraling out of control and going down the toilet fast. And these people who used to have the hearts and the minds of the people, and they still do, because celebrity is a drug, fame is addictive, and everybody wants a hit of it, right? And our people are fame whores, and we live in the attention economy. I'm not judging you, right? So Mason Betta, a preacher, a preacher who hops in and out of rap when he wants to. He brought a Crip, right? Yeah, go and look it up. He brings a Crip to the label. Not only is this man a Crip, he's embroiled in a gang war. So when Fabio Foreign blows up, the gang war in Brooklyn blows up. When Pop Smoke blows up, the gang war in Brooklyn blows up between the Woos and the Chos, between the Blickies and the Woos. She went up with the Woo. And as a result of that, they are in New York right now, drilling like a motherfucker. I can't. Oh, hold on. I was supposed to. Um, I made a conscious decision to somewhat um monitor my language. That's the best way to say it, right? To monitor my language. Yeah, little baby definitely took their spot in their buzz. We're gonna get into that though. Bobby Schmurda. Oh my goodness, how can I forget that? Thank you, whoever reminded me. Is that the brother Deshaun that got in trouble with the Jews? Um, so yes, thank you for reminding me about Schmurda, because Bobby Schmurda is the first one who brings Brooklyn drill to New York right around the time after Kamani Gray gets killed in Flatbush. Kamani Gray is part of the Color Wars. Freddie Gray, Kamani Gray, Mike Brown, Sandra Bland. She just had an anniversary. Rise and power to Sandra Bland. Play her podcast, play her music, play her words. You know, we should be playing her we should be streaming, you know, her she had podcasts, you know, she has streams of consciousness. Like she goes in. So all of these things that we happen. Do I have PayPal? No, I do not. I don't do no PayPal. I boycotted PayPal a long time ago. I cannot stand PayPal. Yes, rest in peace to Marlo. Rest in peace to Pop Smoke. Right? There's a lot of ops. There's a lot of ops right now. You know, a lot of people are out here dying. I even heard that the Marlowe thing might have had something to do with Little Baby. You know, it's a lot of things going on in these streets in the summertime. And black men are gunning for each other. They're fixated with homicide, right? So New York is going through a crime wave this summer. It's a red summer, right? It's a red summer in Gotham City. You know what I'm talking about? It's a red summer. The streets are running red. They popping out, they hopping out of Ubers and clapping. And the record labels have a hand in fueling the current gang war, because once Tekashi 6ix9ine got locked up, right, and he embarrassed the Bloods, he somewhat diminished their power or their influence. And by doing such, he basically left the door open, or the door was left open for the Crips to assume, you know, a more domineering role in street politics. Y'all like that? Y'all like my you like the braids? You know what I'm talking about? I'm doing fractals. I'm unlocking shit, you know? I'm doing fractals. So when the sun hits it, bing, it's like it's going through a circuit board. Rather than, you know, when I had my hair loose, that was like the Amazon. That was like a forest, you know? So the most current example of how the record labels play a hand in fueling black, and these are the same people that are demanding that our people apologize to them when they speak of their observations or the facts that they found as a result of their research. Because nobody wants to question, what about the research? Nobody wants to say, is the research correct or not? They're just saying that it's not right. It doesn't feel right. It's not fair, right? But they're not saying, yo, I'm ready to debate that. They're not saying, yo, I'm ready to debate that. So you'll never know the truth because they shaming you. They shaming brothers and sisters from speaking their truth. Like there's shaming people from standing on their squares. And that is something that we've seen throughout time. Like this is nothing new. This is not an isolated incident. They've been cutting Negroes' feet off and making them Negroes. You can't grow past the knees and what? What do you think a Negro is? What do you think the help is? What do you think the butler is? You understand? What do you think the Roots reboot is? They've been buck breaking. They've been buck breaking. Yeah, I do agree that they don't deserve a debate either. But at the end of the day, you're gonna have to handle things the way that things got to get handled, right? Any predictions for the Jason months? Of course, a whole bunch of predictions for the Jason months. They out here shooting stallions. What are you talking about? The Jason months is lit. Look what happened this week. Just this week, we talk about, do I have a prediction for the Jason months? I call it the Red Summer 2020. I got a whole project coming out called Red Summer 2020. You mean prediction? That is the prediction. We're in the Jason months. Do you see the bodies piling up? My whole timeline was death this whole week. It was nothing but pure death. They had the girl from YouTube. She died with her baby. They had the Nia. She died, and the other sister died in Lake Piru. Nia Rivera, like Nia River. She dies in Lake Piru, Lake Blood. The Meech in Philly, a YouTuber, a popular YouTuber. All of these YouTubers are dying. He gets killed. Then Meg gets shot. Tory Lanez done shot Meg, and Tory Lanez, the little munch, the dude from Toronto, Napoleon, he went ahead and shot the stallion in her foot. Is that going to affect the twerking? That's all I want to know. Then she got size 10 feet. Then there's a video out there where the police got her doing the electric slide. They was going to shoot her. She almost lost her life. Do you understand that she was in a predicament that we've seen we've seen whatchamacallit. We've seen people get murdered for less on video in those snuff films. So they had the LAPD, right, with their guns drawn. They had the copter, they got the chopper, the ghetto bird footage. So you're watching it like a video game from the top down, like it's Fortnite. And then she's coming out the truck, but she's leaking blood on her feet, right? Because he shot her in the foot. I don't know what the hell happened. It's none of my business. But I know that he's done. He's finished. He's canceled. They're gonna cancel Mr. Tory Lanez. It's been nice to know you, my brother. But he was running around, right? Keeping niggas entertained during the COVID, right? See, nobody is talking about if they saying that they broke Nick Cannon's back. They had Kanye dropping out of the presidential race. They broke his back too. You don't see that as you don't think that that was a move where he got a phone call or a visit and who is pulling up? Who's pulling? Are they pulling up with Kimbo Slice and these niggas thought he was dead and this nigga's like special ops? Who is pulling up on these niggas to make them change their tune? Talk black to me. I don't want to meet him. Yeah, Tory Lanez is getting deported. Yeah, that nigga's gonna he's gonna walk the perp walk in Toronto. Y'all better take care of Tory. They chopped up an inventor in New York and put him in a bag. This man was supposed. Let me go on my Instagram. I'm trying to have I'm trying to do a regular show, but I'm gonna just we're just gonna have to go in. This is Jason. This show is gonna have to be renamed the Jason Months. I'm trying to talk about the conscious industry, and it's just the Jason right now. So let's get to that segment. The shit is lit in these streets right here. I don't know what your ancestors are out here doing, but they out here cooking. They spirit cooking. Uh, the pedo shit is getting blown. Yo, Kanye was running. He did a Sue Surf. He did a Sue Surf. He was like Jersey. He didn't even come for one round, bro. He didn't have one round written out. He didn't come and do a daylight. He didn't come with the God tier bars. Where the hell is daylight at? Yo, the coons, they numbers is getting up too. You see them forming like Voltron. You see them forming like Voltron. So look at what's going on. What's up, Keisha Bottoms? Look, Keisha's getting sued by the governor. Yeah, big trouble in Little Wakanda, my niggas. Talk black to me. He's letting her know who the hell is the boss, right? Look at the pedo stuff, right? This week, look how Daddy Saturn is working. We got to give it up to Daddy Saturn, right? We got to give it up to the not the ancestors, because my mama had to correct me. She said that's not the ancestors, that's God. That's the God force. Yes, mama, the God force is at work. The planets, the planets, my friends, not just the ancestors. The ancestors ain't moving. It's the planets moving around. This is planetary influence. You know what I'm talking about? This planetary influence. This the planetary influence. This ain't no man's work. This ain't the work of man. And you smoking moon rocks if you keep giving him credit. Because he don't deserve credit. That's not his work. You know what I'm talking about? That's not his work. Stop giving him credit. That's your work. That's the planets. And if you on your Janet, you know what I'm talking about? If you could figure this out, Rhythm Nation, if you know what's going on, if you're informed, if you are aware, oh man, you're going to silver surf to this thing with a smile on your face, like homie that was playing the guitar on a electronic skateboard. You know what I'm talking about? And he was chilling. Had his shirt open like Michael Jackson. So yeah, look at this stuff. That Mel Gibson was right. Y'all clown Mel Gibson didn't want to watch Apocalypto, and he said Hollywood is an institutionalized pedophile ring. It is a den of parasites who feast on the blood of children. Every studio in Hollywood is bought and paid for with the blood of innocent children. Now, when he made that statement, who jumped on him? The ADL jumped on him. What did they accuse him of being? Anti Semitic. What did they do? They laughed him out of Hollywood. Why would they jump up and try to protect Hollywood? Oh, because everyone is running through Hollywood at the higher ups that's eating the babies and what? Oh, who are they? Oh, they are real estate agents. Interesting. So they working together. Oh, that's what's going. All right, that's what makes sense. Oh, and they run the media. So the newspapers who do the smear campaigns. Oh, that's them too. Wow, what a way to cover your tracks.
For 7 years.
Now he's an early 30 and you're a late 50.
Yeah.
But somehow you both look the same age there.
Mm.
I mean, you know, there's something to be said for being with a younger man.
I suck baby's blood and put it on my face.
Okay.
Just joking.
I'm Lee Daniel.
Look, man, who writes this? These are the same people that y'all watch on syndicated television, Will and Grace, Friends, you know, all of these shows, whatever they put out, Family Guy, the super duper weirdo Seth MacFarlane and Seth Green, who's been blown up. You know, our babies watch Comedy Central and Adult Swim and all of these things, and you wonder why there's problems in these households. You know, look at who the people are worshiping. Look at these golden calves. Look at these sick people who are they're being exposed. This is the year of exposure, right? And expose. How many clowns does it take to screw in a light bulb? 12. 1 to screw it in and 11 to cackle while eating human babies. Who writes this, right? Hey, is it considered molestation if the child makes the first move? I'm going to need a quick answer on this. Sarah K. Silverman, right? How long does it take to cook a baby in a microwave? I don't know. I close my eyes when I masturbate. Courtney Cox, right? This is in 2014. Okay? Before Trump came, they didn't know that something was going to come where they may be exposed. This is during the Obama years where they was just loose with it, right? She's disturbing. I'm going to show you some stuff that she was into, right? And she says, this is John Legend's wife, right? The one that DJ Academics was talking about. You can't spell grape juice without rape juice. Good point. You know what I'm talking about? So these are the same women and men who are in Hollywood, right? Let me see. Keep in mind. Let's follow the breadcrumb trail. Follow the biscuit trail. These are the same actors and actresses who do what? The casting agents, right? They cast their prospects, people who they want to flip and turn out, and they cast them with certain people who they already turned out. And during the 6 months of filming, and the 4 months of filming, and the 8 months of filming, what is the job of the whole set, right? Because the studio set or the Hollywood set, they are filled with these people who are all part and parcel of the same type of MK Ultra programming. So what do they do in the meantime? What is their job? Their job is to seduce. Their job is to, you know, convince. Their job is to basically create an environment where they'll be able to flip unsuspecting people and bring them into these societies where a lot of stuff is taking place that I'm not gonna say you can't fathom, because many of us sat and watched the movies where they told you what they're doing, where they showed you what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They didn't hide anything. It's already been revealed. It's already been revealed, right? Chrissy's not a girl. Okay. Show me her boy picture when she was a boy. Back up, add on. You feel me? Add on. I like when people add on, but add on. Drop something to show the people what it is that you're saying, because this is an open conversation. You know what I'm talking about? You can add on. So let's just do the definition of the Semitic. All right? Of or pertaining to the Semites. Right? And recent often Jewish. Okay? In linguistic sense, the distinctive epithet of that family of languages of which Hebrew, Aramean, Arabic, Ethiopic, and ancient Assyrian are the principal members. Hence, in Semitic scholar studies grammar philology, concerned with the Semitic languages. Okay? So, I don't know how you could be anti Semite, right? That's in a compact edition of the Oxford, right? Here they go. So they said that this dude was known to be like the next Elon Musk, right? He was known to be like the next Elon Musk. And inside of Gotham City, inside of New York City, right? Inside of a lawless state, because remember, the police are not working right now. So there's a lot of hits going down. People are getting knocked off, right? In many of these states where the police decided that they're going to turn the other cheek and whatnot, you have to protect your leaders. You have to protect the people who are valuable to you, because you don't know what can happen if things get completely out of control. So they out here, they decapitated next to an electronic saw in the apartment. But that's not even the weird part, right? The body of a millionaire tech CEO known as the Elon Musk of the developing world has been found decapitated and dismembered in a New York City apartment, according to reports. Okay? For those that haven't seen it, this is Nick's. First and foremost, I extend my deepest and most sincere apologies to my Jewish sisters and brothers for the hurtful and divisive words that came out of my mouth during my interview with Richard Griffin. For everybody that doesn't know, Richard Griffin is Professor Griff, and I've never heard him use that name. I just had the blessed opportunity to converse with Rabbi Abraham Cooper, Director of Global Social Action, Simon Wiesenthal. My first words to my brother was, I apologize for the hurt I caused the Jewish community. On my podcast, and I use words in reference literature I assumed to be factual to uplift my community, instead turned out to be hateful propaganda and stereotypical rhetoric that pained another community. For this, I am deeply sorry, but now together we can write a new chapter of healing. Please, on my turban, my brothers. That's the first apology. Rumor has it he did another one. He said, I want to express to my gratitude to the rabbis, community leaders, and institutions who reached out to help to enlighten me instead of chastising me. I want to assure my Jewish friends, new and old, that this is only the beginning of my education. Right? So I responded. I just left a comment like everybody else. I said, Dr. Sabi had strong enemies and he died on his feet. Never once did he backtrack or fold and or coward to his haters. His truth wasn't popular and he was hated by the same people that you apologize to. Now, you will profit off of his story while aligning yourself to his legacy, thus entangling yourself to that man and his message. But you can't even stand in his shoes, young man. The ancestors can't be pleased. And I was just keeping it a buck. I got the phone call today. Why'd you write that? Right? I got the phone call. Clarence Avant called me and Oprah. Why you should take that down? I'm like, no. Fuck is you saying? I can't. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna speak the truth. And I didn't say nothing wrong. I didn't say a thing wrong. When did I tell a lie? When did I tell any lie? I said that's not Sabi like. That's not something that Sabi would do. The reason why you're doing a documentary on Dr. Sabi is because he didn't waver and he didn't take the plea deal and he didn't let them people scare him and he didn't let these people checkmate him. He went all the way in. That's what he did. That's why he's a legend. Talk back to me. You know what I'm talking about? And you're about to get some M&Ms off of that. You're about to get some M&Ms off of that. Somebody said that they really call you. Come on. You think Oprah's calling me, bro? Stop that. Yeah, Red's comment was definitely fire. I'm trending. So he had to read that. You know? And to be honest with you, I was keeping it wild politically correct. That's my political correct answer. Mind you, that's my PC answer. That's my woke answer to him. You understand? That's my woke answer to him. That's diet woke right there. Let's be clear. Somebody's like, oh, he kept it 100. No, nigga, that's the diet woke response to the effery that I saw today. Somebody said Oprah definitely not calling red. I cooked okra. Do you remember? I cooked okra and Gail. And I said, I wrote a rhyme. I said, wait, I hope you got bail for Oprah and Gail. I wonder if you niggas is gonna be TikToking inside of the jail. I gotta remember it. But yeah, I cooked Oprah. I cooked okra. And where's she been ever since? It's been downward, it's been a downward spiral ever since then. I thought that Nick was gonna line up with the shooters and let us shoot. Right? I thought this was gonna be a special season of wilding out, where he was gonna let us wild out. Right? What will wilding out look like if we were standing next to Conceited going in? Could Griff have helped save Nick from himself in that interview? No. Nick was feeling he was in a moment, he was feeling the truth because whenever the truth pull up, it's going to pull something out of you. And it makes you forget that you are basically owned, bought and sold. Your masters are owned by a master. But when you're sitting there with a free Negro or somebody that's not a slave who's free, he's going to talk like a free man. He's going to speak in his proper persona. He's not going to speak in fear. He's not going to speak with a forked tongue, and he's not going to police his tongue. But here you go, you're contracted, meaning that you're a slave, right? You're owned. Somebody owns you. You actually have a master and you in a house. That's what that looks like. You're in a house. But you own that. That's your Mandingo wrestling in the house while they eat Skittles, and you Mandingo wrestle in the house. They'll grease you up that night if they want to. This is the micro to the macro. What's going on in the industry? And Snoop Doggy Dogg, all of the people who are affiliated with record labels, Jimmy Iovine, Lyre, Todd Moskowitz, Lucian, right? All of their minions are in the house. Those are house Negroes. All of the football players who they check their teeth and whatnot, and they was grabbing their sack and they smack them on the butt and call them a boy who play in the NFL, right? They're contracted, they're owned, their likeness is owned, their name is owned. When they were in the NCAA, they were playing for free. They were putting on for free. They were twerking for free. You understand? With not even $1 in a dream. They just running for a dream. They putting in all that work. Them people getting big dollars off of their butt, off of these bucks backs, right? Free labor, sweat equity. Run with that pigskin. Dunk that ball. We're gonna sell these tickets at $80 and cash out, right? And then when you go to the league, for the ones that make it to the league, they own you on paper, and you sign off on it. So those people can't sit with us and have conversations because, as you can see, you can't even be yourself in the conversation. Not only do you have to be politically correct, there's a whole 8 pages of your talk that you cannot have. There's going to be censored because the minute you start going into the Middle East, the minute you start going into yeshiva, the minute you start venturing into the synagogue, oh no, they're going to be like, wait, cut. Hold on, brother. We want to stick with the white supremacists. You know what I'm saying? Let's stay over there with the Confederates. Let's stay over there with Robert E. Lee and all of them. That's easy. That's, like I said, that's a low hanging fruit. That's the low hanging fruit. Those are buffers. That's an easy target. But when you start going past the trailer parks, that's when it's going to be a problem. You know? That's when it's going to be a problem. What show is he leaving though? What show is he leaving, sis? I want to know what show is he leaving. Somebody said that Nick just released he's leaving his show. Does politically correct denote fallacies to certain people? Politically correct it's a technique. It is a communication technique. Sometimes we're going to have to communicate, right? In certain situations where we may have to speak with a forked tongue, or we may have to be politically correct. You know, it's like playing chess. You might not be able to show your hand at the moment. Okay? He can't come back from disrespecting our master teachers for them rabbis, though. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about? You like, how could you call it propaganda? You invoked the name of Dr. Francis Cress Welsing in that interview with Professor Griff, and you brought up the Iceman inheritance. You publicly denounced. You did what President Obama did to Farrakhan when he was running for president, and he did it to Reverend Wright. You denounce the master teachers. That's an abominable sin. I can't stand with you for that. I cannot protect you from the ring of power. the pantheon. I speak of the ring of power. And if you don't think that they're working, and if you don't think that they're moving things around, and if you don't think that they're exposing people and waking you up to who people really are, then I don't know what to tell you. But they've been very active ever since, like I said, when Nipsey Hussle made his ascension, when Dr. Sabi made his ascension, even like when the Three King ritual went down, Pop Smoke, Kobe, Nipsey, all in LA, all in that LA region, you know what I mean? All in that West Coast. The Three Kings, the kings dying in the West. Do I think Nick will go to revolt with Diddy? I mean, I don't know. Oh, he's leaving his power the radio show. Yeah. How many white people does Nick have to apologize to after he made that one apology? Do you want to live like that? A coward dies 1,000 deaths. Y'all be trying to make all of these excuses about a lesson that we out here in front of the class non-emotionally just teaching you. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. That's what you're going to see, and it's going to play out for everyone to see like a live stream. It's going to play out like a live stream. Right? They call that man Richard Griffin. Like, are you serious? Peter Griffin's uncle? You know what I'm talking about? If you bring, I think the ancestors, I think Black Jesus Tyrone, Allah, right? And Sammy Davis Jr. that I never got the invite. I'm glad that he flaked on me, because he flaked on me. He was like, yo, I'm going to bring y'all on my show like a year and a half ago. I'm glad that I didn't get that email, because I'm good at this point. I'm not sitting. If Professor Griff got you in trouble, bro, I probably would have got you. I probably would have got you a charge or two. They'd have probably hit you with a hate crime, because I would have went up there spazzing. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's what you do. You disrupt. I'm a disruptor. I'm not a fame seeker, and I'm not a celebrity. I'm here to disrupt. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to get along. I'm not here to be nobody's friend. I'm not here to make none of them comfortable. That's not my job. I'm not here to take pictures with you, although I'm photogenic. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to be a disruptor. I want to make you wild uncomfortable. I want to make you look at yourself in the mirror and be like, damn, I fucked up. Pardon me, Melchizedek. I'm out here cursing. That's my duty as the red pill. What is the red pill? The red pill is a disruptor. When you take the red pill, it's a disruption. You're getting smacked out of the matrix. You're getting unplugged. So I'm here to unplug you. I was using harsh language as a shock value, like how a shock jock will curse you out, Howard Stern like, right? And I know that people get shocked when you throw them darts. So that's a part of disruption. I'm not here to not curse. You know what I'm talking about? Fuck is you saying? I'm not here to not curse. I'm a disruptor. People are like, come on, Red. I know you want to get on Good Morning America. You're gonna have to chill with the language. I'm like, family. Whatever vision that you have for me and whatever you think is lit for me, I'm letting you know that you're sounding real crazy right now. You know what's lit for me? Having my own Good Morning America, building my own media empire, having my own podcast. That the conscious industry, that's what's lit for me. I'm not here to be painstakingly, living through, because living through this experience, this is almost like a Kunta Kinte flogging. You could ask anybody. Is Black Dot in the building? Shout out to Black Dot in the building. Salute to the God. You know, any of the OGs will let you know. You know what I'm talking about? The level of sacrifice and heavy lifting being in this business. This is an industry. Don't be ashamed to say it. You're in an industry. If you are if you're getting honorariums for speaking, if you're paying your bills for teaching, if you travel the world because your brain is lit, right? Because people respect your mind, and you don't gotta work for you don't gotta work for, you don't have to apologize to strong enemies. You don't have to worry about offending anybody because a real boss can't fire a boss. You are in control of your destiny. You've already factored that in because people are acting like the real estate agents are not doing what they're supposed to do. What do you think that they're gonna do when you talk about them, bro? They're hiding. They're hiding. They're living a lie. You didn't anticipate the next chess move. What do you think that people are going to do to get exposed? Because there's two things, there's exposure and there's exposed. So you're doing the exposure work. You're just exposing the world to who these people are, but nothing is coming out of that. They're becoming more powerful. You're not successfully exposing them because in order to expose something, you're supposed to collapse it like they collapse a statue. You're supposed to destroy it. You're supposed to take it down and strip it to where its very last compound. You're supposed to decimate it, or you give it exposure because where attention goes, energy flows. So sometimes we were learning about the Illuminati in the 90s. Nobody put no hands on the Illuminati. Nobody put no fear into the Illuminati. Nobody put no beating. They did not world star no one from the Illuminati. So guess what? Guess what happens? As a result of that, the Illuminati becomes the boogeyman. The Illuminati becomes this way, they become this shadow agency. They become this shadow force. They become these, these ninjas and whatnot. They become these people that you can't even hold accountable. They're out of our reach. Oh no, you could never run into a Rothschild. You could never pull up on any of these elite families. You calling them elite. You calling them supreme. You're doing all of these things. You're not exposing them. You're giving them exposure because you sound wild scary while you're talking about them. You. There's no justice when you speak about the KKK. You didn't shock the audience by pulling a head out of a bag on some 300 type thing and be like, yeah, you know, this is one of the people who was at the hanging of he was at the murder of Emmett Till. We ran down on him in the group home and decapitated him. This is him, and this is how we expose it. You know what I mean? Nobody never went live inside of a trailer park and and commenced to getting some justice from these terrorists, these homeland terrorists who have mad blood on their hands of your people. Nobody did none of that. So don't talk to me about expose. You didn't do nothing exposed. You gave them exposure because you don't want no smoke. You don't got no smoke. You talk about them like they got power over you. You're not shitting all over them. You're not talking about them. You're not dismissive of them. And like you saw in Moors in court, you there's no record of you bringing it to their necks. That's action. It's a difference. You could talk and talk, but if I see you in the ring, if I see you in front of the dragon, if I see you in the courts, if I see you on a basketball court, if I see you wherever the action is and you're taking action, then you have my attention. Because guess what? God is an action verb, right? There's something called godding. To godding is called godding. That's an action verb. It's to do. So you got to be with the action. And niggas don't got no action these days. I don't see no action. There's reaction. There's a lot of Kenneth Cole reaction, a lot of marching, wooden soldiers. They was doing the March Madness, March for Dimes. There's a lot of reaction, but ain't a lot of action. There ain't nobody. There ain't a lot of Action Jacksons out here. Don't play with me. I pays attention. So in the woke industry, The woke industry is built off of reaction. It is a reactionary, right? Trigger happy, because it's about triggers. People get triggered by race. People get triggered by trauma. People get triggered by death. People get triggered by hate. And when there's a triggering that takes place, a lot of money gets made. Case in point, let's just talk about data. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all other places where people like to type and express themselves and emote and put up images and pictures. Do you know that when a shooting takes place of an innocent black person, that Black Twitter and all of these places go berserk, and they basically get, they come alive, right? They come alive. But with things coming alive, if anybody's into internet marketing, if anybody is into SEO, if anybody's into any type of monetary aspect of commodifying your use on the internet, where you're utilizing the internet for the social network and not social media, you know how to make money off of that. You know what I mean? You know how to get that data. You know how to capture that data. You know that that's rich data. That's like oil. That's like black oil. When you get the data of people who are reacting in a reactionary manner, when they are emoting, when they're triggered, because emotions like that lead to all kind of other things. People like to go shopping after that. People like to engage in fornication and pornography after that. People like to go surfing the web, and all of that information, all of that data is what marketers and advertisers are clamoring for. They want all of that. Yeah, I know about clickbank. You know, clickbank is where you get the funnels and whatnot. That's how they build out the funnels. So the funnels, right? They're building out these funnels with clickbank, and yes, attention is currency. Attention is currency. So they understand, especially when they have the power of people like of George Soros, and when you have the power of the media, what can the media do? The media can amplify any story that they deem to be amplified. That is the power of the media. It's called media blocks. When Mike Brown was murdered, George Soros purchased a 48-hour media block. If you could still find it on the internet, go and research that, pull it up on Google and whatnot. That's how, and during that 48-hour media block, that's when Black Lives Matter was officially launched, because they came about after Trayvon's murder or Trayvon's acquittal and whatnot, but they officially launched. They got in front of the cameras during Mike Brown. Darren Seals blew it up that they were being industry planted. He said that they were industry plants. They were not necessarily on the front lines. They were there to take pictures and to tweet, to the point he was so frustrated that he committed a physical attack against the brother who wears the blue vest, right? You know, your man's in them, right? Your man's in them. Alex Jones says Soros is paying Nick. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, we got to look into that, I guess. Nick was probably getting those eyes wide shut kind of threats. Well, welcome to the party, right? If I could play Pop Smoke right now, I would. Welcome to the party, Nick. Do you know how many death threats Dr. Sabi used to receive after he claimed that he cured AIDS? Do you know how many death threats my mother receives? Do you know how many death threats that she probably will receive after they see a documentary called Strong Enemies? And she's one of the 3 people on the docket who beat the Supreme Court, and Big Pharma and all of that. You know, there's strong enemies everywhere, Nick. You know that they threatened my life when I went to Sanford and I had to have armed security. This was a few weeks ago. I showed you the article. You want me to pull it up again? The Popo and all of the rednecks was looking for me, and they were armed, and they threatened my life. And my promoter told me that when I was, he told me after the event, yo, you know that they was threatening your life, right? I'm like, fam, thanks for telling me after the event. But it didn't matter. because the brothers that were holding me down, they were licensed, they were ready, willing, and able to protect me and mine against all odds. So, you know, the stakes are high. The stakes are high when you're on the front line and you're doing this work. It was to my understanding that he received death threats because they said he was doing a Sabi documentary, right? So what I would had advised him to do is to contact InFact. You saw the militia the same way that I saw them in Stone Mountain. You saw the fact that there's a private, go to the brother in Shreveport, Louisiana, who has the gun club. They're legal militias right now. They're black militias that are ready, that they're ready for hire. You know what I'm talking about? So all of the celebrities that got a bag, if you step out and the police is protecting you, then you are op. And we know that you don't live what you say. If you step out and you a rapper and you pulling up in a sprinter, you better have somebody from InFact or Eat the Rich. What is that? The Sleepers for the Rich, or any one of those private militias. You need to have them hopping out with when you have security for any of your events, when you have security for any of your shows, like a Wildin' Out. These are the people who you get, like the FOI, the Fruit of Islam. I don't know how thin they could spread the Fruit of Islam because I see them work in a lot of venues and whatnot. But you know, we got the Hebrew Israelites. They got a division of security. I think the Moors, they have some muftis. They are also a division of private security. You know, then you have the InFact. Then you have other RBG groups, right? Watch out for them dudes at Stone Mountain. Okay, here we go. Grandmaster Jay is the agent. All right. Okay. This is my thing with that. Right. This is my thing with that, and this is what we addressed on the show yesterday with, you know, the division. You know, the fact that you feel so comfortable that you could say that just in the chat room and spread it like that. You know what I mean? Without bringing the information before you said that. So as a Moor, you're not, and you're out of line by presenting information because you're feeding into what is known as libel and slander, right? So a responsible, you know what I mean? And like I said, you represent the Moors, and now you'll have people looking at you like, there go them goofy ass Moors again, always with the fuck shit, right? Always backbiting, always stabbing somebody, always talking about somebody, always pointing fingers at somebody else. Somebody is always wrong and you're always right. And I've dealt with Moors like that before. And I'm telling you that they're a cancer in this community because all they do is sit around and they point fingers when none of the Moors never stepped out in that type of fashion on any one of these quote unquote, even if it was to a mound, even if it was somewhere where the Moors, it didn't have to be with you could have come out with some god scimitars. You didn't have to have no weapons. I haven't seen the Moors demonstrate and read the Quran in the streets more than 10 deep in 10 years. The way that the Hebrew Israelites put out a film where they were all in one uniform, they were moving as one. I've never seen the Moors ever do that. And they be putting up Jeff Fort pictures and they reminisce on what the El Rukans did. But they have the ability to do all of that and then some right now. So I'm not saying that you don't have information that I would not want you to share with the family if the information needed to be shared. So I don't want you to think that I'm attacking you or anything. I'm saying that there's tact. When you're in these chat rooms, you're in front of the world, my brother. You're in front of the world and you're representing not just you. When you have certain things on your name, you're representing hundreds of thousands. So when, let's say that there's people in the chat room and they're seeing you put that out there, and then they like, yo, the Moors got drama with InFact. And then you see how I did roll call. There's people from all over the world on this show right now. So then the next day, when they go into society wherever they live and they see a brother with affairs, then they start that rumor, or then they start that, or then they go and tell somebody else, and then all of that starts what we've been going through: the division, the distraction, the F-boy stuff. And we are not at a place in a day and time. If we seen a militia rise up, right, of brothers and sisters who had the mitigated gall to step out, right, and practice and exercise their Second Amendment, right, and go somewhere where they needed to be on the 4th of July. They needed to be there. I don't know what nobody talking about. Somebody needed to be there. And if it wasn't them, somebody was supposed to be on that mountain burning one of them damn Confederate flags. Facts. So where's the code at, bro? This is stuff that you talk about. That's what I'm saying. Why doesn't the temples come together and delegate affairs with other temples or with other organizations or with other schools of knowledge and whatnot? They be giving them mad love, mad passes and mad love, and they give them a lot of leeway in life, but there's nobody setting up communications, to share the resources, share the information, you know, update each other as to what's going on. Give us some, because I know the Moors do a lot of paperwork and they have access to people's files and whatnot. Yeah, give us the rundown on who these people are in this whole community. I've never seen nobody come forward with, and give us the rundown about who we're dealing with and who's around us. Put a book out or something on these people. Give us an affidavit on somebody, and state your source. What I think about my son being arrested. What about it? What about that? What does that have to do? What is somebody getting arrested? What part of what I represent and what I've done over the years, what the hell is being arrested have to do with anything? I don't understand. I saw the video. What does that got to do with anything? They talk about lock the police up to kill Breonna Taylor. I heard that the police who killed Breonna Taylor, one of them got fired or something. Are they still police? Or are they citizens and civilians at this point? Because if they are, then y'all need to be going up in their house and talking to them. I'm on my Harambe. I'm not talking about nobody getting locked up. I don't have that conversation. That's not my conversation. That's not my narrative. I've never been about that. I don't picket. I don't march. I don't do leg day. My calves is not lit like that. I'm not doing none of that. I don't rally. I don't picket. I don't want to be confused with none of that. I'm just saying, kudos to anybody that's out here putting on. Because that's putting on, that's a demonstration, that's following civil rights, where they go and they prepare to get locked up and they get the cameras. It's a camera moment. It's the shit that made Darren Seals flip out. You know what I'm talking about? So kudos to everybody that's getting locked up before the cops that killed Breonna Taylor gets locked up. However that's going to help, kudos to you, whatever the plan is. Does that raise his social profile as a social justice warrior? I don't know. But let me say something about the conscious industry that's not the woke marketplace. That's the woke marketplace. They're selling themselves. Okay? They're selling the idea that you could get locked up and that's going to get the people who killed a human being in cold-blooded locked up. That's what they're selling you. That's not what we're here doing. We don't do that. That's not what we're about. I have to distinguish the difference because unfortunately events have arisen in the last 48 hours where we're going to have to distance ourselves completely from the woke marketplace, the woke, whatever the wokester thing represents. We have to build, you see the Holland Tunnel is flooding. China is flooding. The rivers are rising. So the deluge and the flood is here, my friends. So we're going to have to flood we're gonna have to create a flood. The moat, we're gonna dig a ditch so deep then it's going to be a flood the way that we about to separate ourselves from the goofies that we call the woke marketplace. And no offense to them, you know, they out there looking for their bag. They want to sit with those people. They want to get along, to go along. You heard it. It's called equality. I didn't say it. That's what they said. And we got a case for separation, and they want equality, and they want to talk about how everybody's equal. And we have the science, we have the facts, we have the research, and we got the scholarship to show that we're not equal. You understand? We're not part and parcel either. You understand? We's different. And you know, we are not the same. We are not the same. So I was a woke joke one day in my life. I don't know how old I was, but I was a wokester jokester, and eventually I had to wake up, right? And for some of us, it's a painful process, and for others of us, it's not. But the people that consider themselves woke, they have some growing to do. They got some waking up to do. And I hope that their journey is not a painful one. But I don't have the time, nor do I have the energy, nor do I have the empathy at this point to stick around and hold people's hands while they try to figure it out in front of the world. No, I'm not doing that. And while you put people like me in jeopardy when you out here buck dancing and you playing games with the master teachers, and you trying to drop flags on the master teachers, you know, you could get killed in a gang for dropping the flag. You understand? You cannot drop the flag. You can't drop something that you picked up that's sacred. I'm not having that. I'm not playing no games with nobody in my circumference who's out here flim flammy, faking the funk, playing games, finicky, fence riding. None of that is gonna exist in my ecosphere. I'll stay in the NBA bubble if I need to, by myself. You know what I'm talking about? By myself, on my very lonesome. If this whole world is gonna go fake, I'm gonna just be by myself. I'm not playing. I'm not going along to get along. I'm not lap dancing none of these goofies to be on their shows. I'm not holding hands with none of these people who have not shown me one iota that they care about us and that they willing to go. They not on go. They did not show me that they not on go. Your allies have not let one cannon go yet. Talk about Nick Cannon. Your allies ain't letting no cannons go. They not wilding out. You know what I'm talking about? Your allies is suspect. Your coalition is suspect. You know, your master teachers is suspect. You know who their master teacher is? Clarence Avant, the Black Godfather. Because I guarantee you, I put. Let me see. How many bitcoins do I have? How many bitcoins did I get when I hacked Elon Musk's account the other day? Yeah, I put 10 bitcoins on the fact that Clarence Avant was one of the phone calls that your boy got, because he's the fixer. He's Harvey Keitel in Reservoir Dogs. He's the fixer. Remember, that's when he comes out. He got the bat phone, man. If he puts you on, he's going to be the one who's got to come and clean you up. What was his name in the movie? What was Harvey Keitel's name when he was cleaning things up? Remember, he cleaned up the car. What was that? Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction. That's who he is. He's the fixer. When he calls you, you have to get down, because he has all of. He's the Harvey. He's almost like a Jeff Epstein in a sense, because he has all of the tapes on you. Yeah, he's the wolf. He has the tapes on you. He has all of the black. He has all of the blackmail on you. The same way that Jeff Epstein, when Jeff Epstein called you, and when Jeff Epstein pull up, yeah, Mr. White and the Wolf. When Jeff Epstein called you to lean on you for some money, what did you do? You gave up the money. Why? Because he had tapes on you. He has the information on you. He's part of Mossad. He is an operative, and they have an organization called um, the Cube. The Cube, right? The Cube. And the Cube is the level up of the Mossad. The Cube is the people who were blackmailing. They were trying to shake down all of the people who were going against the accusers of Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein hired them. Then There's another organization. These are the people that are out here doing the hits. Who saw Michael Clayton? You see how they do the hits, right? Who saw Michael Clayton where they'll suicide you and make it look like you killed yourself? Michael Clayton shows you that. They and when they cut homie up right there in New York, hold on, let me show you. When they chop dude up in New York, right? This is a hit. This is a paid contract. The same thing that Little Baby and them is talking about in their raps, where they talking about how they got murder for hire. This is murder for hire right here. They cut him up so good that they couldn't even find a trace of blood. Right? They cut him up. They chopped him up. They cut this man up so well that they couldn't even find blood, yo. A straight hit. Right? Hey, look. Who hacked their account? Who did that? They said they took 100 racks in cryptocurrency. Now, you know, if they was hacking all of these people's accounts, it was not for no damn cryptocurrency. You see how they lying? These people don't even got cryptocurrency. And what is 100 racks of cryptocurrency? That's nothing. That's peanuts. They got that out of one of these people's accounts. Look, Joe Biden, these are all the Pizzagates. Joe Biden, Kim Kardashian, Barack Obama, Elon Musk, Kanye West, right? So this might be another Anthony Weiner type of situation. You never know. Stick around, all right? This is Phil Valentine's upcoming lecture. You see the pills, Panic, AA, Bobby, Phil, Griff, Rich, legends. All right? Look at your boy. This is how they be riding. Nick Cannon, we are with you. Keep leading. I was too quick to respond without bullet. Yo, what's going on? Who shot Meg, man? How y'all out here shooting Meg, B? Y'all clapped up the stallion? What the hell? Y'all done clapped up the stallion. Look, it gets interesting, more interesting by the minute. Like I said, we showed y'all an In Too Deep. We showed y'all an In Too Deep that we told y'all an In Too Deep what was going on behind the scenes. We said, yeah, this is In Too Deep. They are in too deep with this pedophilia, with these rat lines, right? With these rat lines, with this sex trafficking, organ harvesting, child trafficking, all of this. Look at Chrissy, right? Look at Chrissy. This is John Legend's wife, or his beard for that matter. Who writes this, right? And you know, it's been rumors on him that he's super sus, right? Who writes this? What's her nationality? Is she Philippine? What's going on with this? Where is she? Does she eat octopus? You know, because they'll eat a live animal. Where's she from, y'all? Yeah, somebody said she cheddar bobbed herself. They said that Tory Lane shot her though. Yeah, little man syndrome. The word is out. Her security blew it up. Tory Lanez popped her in the foot. You know, Tory Lanez popped her in the foot. I'm talking about, yeah, your homegirl at the red table. You know, she's Filipino. Okay, she's a Filipino. She's spirit cooking, right? Now look at her tweets. Let's go through her tweets. This is disturbing. I just saw a baby that looked like a porn star, like a trashy do anything porn star. Is this wrong to think? This is in 09, right? Come on. Skinny pedos drink pedo light. This is 2012. How many of you here are about 6? This T-Rex is about 6. Hashtag pedos. Hashtag dino show. A little boy in a pageant now. Finally, some eye candy for me. Toddlers and tiaras. This is an 11, right? And people let that slide. Water slide that goes through a shark tank. F yeah, time to get my pedo on, right? I'm bored. Really want to watch kids give birth. Where can I watch teens giving birth? MTV. I mean that it doesn't make sense, but I'll try, right? And somebody was like, man, that's sarcasm. Family, if this is sarcasm, she's the worst comedian in the world. No wonder nobody knows who she is. Okay? So she's on a flight log going to Jeff Epstein's island. Like I said, when Jeff Epstein pops out, then you know he got, whoever's on that log, he had information on them. Okay? See, Ice Cube, he blew this up. I put this on my page months ago about the Saturn worship in the box, Saturn and Satan, where these people are deriving a lot of their energy and their power and all kind of things from. Look, she put an article out, the anti-Semitism we didn't see. Straight Coonan, Peter Rosenberg, my friend, right? So everyone is capping, right? Some of the most coonery I've read in a minute. So everybody is capping. Here you go.
I am not going to apologize for the truth. Never did. I never will. I will go to my goddamn grave. I'm not going to apologize for the truth. I don't care how much pressure you put. I don't care how much you bomb me, try to destroy me, what names you call me. Do what you want to do. You've been doing that anyway. It's just not going to happen with me. I'm not going to bend over backwards to try to appease you. Like Dr. Khalid El-Hakim said, come to the table and sit down and talk intelligently.
Facts.
In the interview after Griffin said Semitic people and languages have absolutely nothing to do with white people. This is what I said. The Semitic languages have nothing to do with white people.
Facts. I've just read you that.
And they don't.
I just read you who
the Semitic people are black people.
Facts.
The Semitic people are black people.
Facts.
We both saying that the label of anti-Semitic is, I am not going to apologize for the truth. Never did. I never will. I will go to my goddamn grave. I'm not going to apologize for the truth. I don't care how much pressure you put. I don't care how much you bomb me, try to destroy me, what names you call me. Do what you want to do. You've been doing that anyway.
That's right, Griff.
In the interview candidates class, which notably seems to have been filmed in 2019 and reposted it to his channel a few weeks ago, Griffin said that he was speaking facts. I'm speaking facts tonight about the Cohens and the Moskowitz. All right, the Khazarian Jews, the Ashkenazi Jews, pardon me. And said that I am hated now because I told the truth. This is what Professor Griff said. I am hated right now because I told the truth. All right? I'm hated right now because I told the truth. Cannon praised the rapper for having the most substance and weight in speaking unapologetically. And you stuck to your guns, Jewish Insider reporter says. I stuck to my guns then, and I'm sticking to my guns today. I am not going to apologize for in the interview candidates class, which notably seems to have been filmed in 2019 and anti-Semitic is a tool to silence criticism, according to a Jewish insider. All right. The actor and TV host also said that it is never hate speech. You can't be anti-Semitic when you are the Semitic people. When we are the same people who they want to be. That's our birthright. Adding that, we are the true Hebrews. We are the true Hebrews.
That's right.
We are the true Hebrews.
That's right. That's right, Griff. Talk black to me.
Anti-Semitic is a tool to silence criticism, according to Jewish.
So the OG Black Dot said that he had a fundraiser on his page, and his words to the community was that we have to protect Professor Griff financially from this day forward on. I don't even want to talk about it. There's nothing to talk about. You understand? There's nothing to even speculate. Like, we have to sock it to his pocket, because that's our OG right there. He been standing up for black people since they done try to railroad him in Public Enemy, and he never wavered. Now we know what wavering look like and what it feel like. You understand? I feel betrayed. You know what I'm talking about? I feel like treason has been committed in a sense. You know, I don't feel good. So I know what it looked like, and if Griff did something like that, my heart would break into pieces, bro. I would be on the floor crying. I would be on the floor crying if they made my dude Griff fold and break back. If they broke Griff's back in front of me, I would cry. My reality would be shifted. It would be like the Adjustment Bureau. So guess what happened? When Mika Johnson did the shooting, look at what's going on. Let me show you something. Because I don't think people be understanding how these people do their media game, right? Remember, this is all a pandemic. This is all a psyops, right? Keep in mind, this is about triggers. Keyword, triggers. So why is Professor Griff such a trigger? I'll show you why. I'm glad that you asked. Professor Griff is a trigger, and we showed you why it's a trigger. We exposed it a few weeks ago, right? Professor Griff is a trigger because he's intricately tied into the Mika Johnson. The anniversary for this was recently, because Mika Johnson was 7/11. No, 7/7. The Dallas shooter, right? The Dallas shooter, the biggest cop killer, the biggest cop shooting since the biggest loss of cops since 9/11, I think, right? But here goes the trigger, right? This is why Griff is a target, okay? This is why Griff is a target, and this is why Griff is a trigger, because it's subliminal at this point. Remember, they created the Black Identity Extreme law off of Mika Johnson, off of this one shooting right here. This one and the one that Gavin Long did, right? This got the look, Public Enemies, Professor Griff, the Nas Association with Suspected Dallas Cop Killers tweets. I do not know the shooter, right? This is 2016, July 8th. July 8th, 2016, right? 4 years ago, July 8th, 2016. So exactly 4 years later, to this day, that wasn't in the winter, to this day, in the Jason months, in July, they bring Griff back up out of nowhere, right? To do what? To build up the anti-Semitic fear. Because remember, I showed you when I did a show, um in January, and I did a lecture called Fear of a Black and More Messiah 2020 Year of Fear, right? So I went and I said, yo, New York City is putting on a fear campaign because I think it was the first day of the year. It might have been January 1st. They had a front page cover. It said the year of fear. Oh, no, it said the return of fear, right? The return of fear. So I was like, wow, that's a strong cover, because if people don't know the power of these daily news cover, right? These news covers, they dictate policies. They dictate policies. So this is how the year started in New York City. This is what they were pumping into the psyche of the people. They were inundating New Yorkers for like a whole week with this fear things, right? This is the beginning of 2020. Keep in mind the pandemic. The pandemic, yes, it's like a vision board. The pandemic, Event 201, Bill Gates, Fauci, and all of them, they all come from the same community. So this is January the 5th. There's an anti-Semitism crisis. Blasio decries spate of attacks against Jews, right? So they were out here talking about, oh, uh, people are attacking us. Um, they don't love us anymore. The blacks, they play the wild victim. Oh my goodness, somebody help us. So they had a march. They had a whole march, right? Let's go to page 5. So this propaganda is the propaganda that this is. Remember, they galvanized. Wait, what? Come on, Daily News. Don't be like that. So what do? They couldn't. They galvanize the energy. They galvanize the energy, and they use the energy for their benefit, right? So they come out with the return of fear, and now the whole America is under fear. Now the whole world is under fear. Now every single state is living in fear. People are wearing masks. They're not coming outside. They're afraid. They're living in fear. They're fear mongering. There's rumors of war. There's uh there's all of these, famines, and you name it. You name it, it's out there, right? So I gotta go through all of the show. You get the point, shit. You get the point. Um, yes, that's when the rabbis got stabbed up. The rabbis got stabbed on New Year's Eve, right? The rabbis got stabbed up on New Year's Eve. Then they had the shootout in New Jersey and Jersey City where they said the Hebrew Israelite. Let's go and see that. Because don't think that they're not coming back into the picture. This is how they cook. It's all a ritual. It's all a ritual. I'm going on a ledge to say that they're using all of this energy to charge up that the temple in Jerusalem. Okay? They're using all of this fear energy, all of this death energy, all of this murder from the corona, the COVID, the pandemic, all of the fear, the lockdown. All of this is feeding the resurrection of that temple where Trump moved. He basically moved the temple to Jerusalem. That's, to me, that's what they're working on, because this is about biblical prophecy. This is about bringing in the Messiah. This is about the return of Christ and all of that other stuff, right? So here goes the Jersey City kosher attack. First, they gave you a whole nother face. Then they switched it. So they said that this is a Hebrew Israelite brother. Where? What part of him is? I don't understand. Right? How did they determine that? Okay. How did they determine that? Because I don't see him in his garb.
Good evening, I'm Stephen Holt, and this is News 4 Now for Wednesday, December 11th. First up, the weather. It's going to stay cold tonight. Tomorrow, around the same. Highs just barely making it above the freezing mark. Turning now to the news, and we are getting our first look at yesterday's attack in Jersey City that left...
Hold on. Let me let y'all see this. Y'all hitting up that Cash App? I don't hear no coins dropping. Talk black to me. Yeah.
The police officer dead, 2 suspects and 3 innocent people also killed.
So a
This
police
surveillance
officer
video
died.
shows both shooters hopping out of a stolen U-Haul van with assault-style rifles just minutes after gunning down Jersey City detective Joseph Seals. As they make their way into the kosher market, you can see people running for cover. In the back of that van, authorities say they found a pipe bomb. 3 people inside that store were killed by flying pieces of metal during the gunfire. They've been identified as 49-year-old Miguel Douglas, 32-year-old Mindy Ferentz, a mother of 5, and 24-year-old Moshe Deutsch, the son of prominent activist Abe Deutsch.
Okay.
We're also learning more about the 2 shooters.
So they said that they're right. Let's see how they lie, because they changed this whole story up after they showed this, right? So here they go hopping out of a van after they killed the police. They killed the police in the graveyard, right? Nowhere near the kosher deli. Then when they popped into the deli, they killed 2 Puerto Ricans and a Hebrew and a Jewish man. I'm sorry, a Jewish man, right? So I didn't hear Corinthians. I didn't see no shield of Israel. What are they talking about? They had a shootout and they used the store as a getaway, and then and the police pumped about 200 rounds an hour into the store, and the people who got killed were basically innocent bystanders. It had nothing to do with the Hebrew Israelites or people trying to kill the Jews.
This surveillance video shows both shooters hopping out of a stolen U-Haul van with assault-style rifles just minutes after gunning down Jersey City detective Joseph Seals. As they make their way into the kosher market, you can see people running for cover. In the back of
He's like, "Oh, I need a knip. I need some mazel tov. So I'm gonna go into the kosher deli. You know what I'm talking about? I need some boiled eggs. I need some kosher bologna. So I'm just running up in a kosher deli. What are you talking about?"
Authorities say they found a pipe bomb. 3 people inside that store were killed by flying pieces of metal during the gunfire. They've been identified as 49-year-old Miguel Douglas.
Is that Jewish?
32-year-old Mindy Ferentz.
Oh, she's looking real Jewish right there. She might be,
5, and 24-year-old Moshe Deutsch, the son of prominent activist Abe Deutsch. We are also learning more about the 2 shooters who stormed into that store. David Anderson and Francine Graham were both found dead after that hours-long standoff with police. Sources telling us that Anderson was a one-time follower of the Black Hebrew Israelites, a fringe
one-time follower, right? One-time follower. So they pinned the whole thing on the Hebrew. It's almost like they said that Tazariak and them was leading the drill, right? On some Call of Duty type thing. He was a one. You know how many one-time Hebrew Israelites I met? You know what I'm talking about?
Group labeled as a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. Authorities are looking into whether he wrote anti-Semitic and anti-police posts on what appeared to be his social media profiles. Investigators are not yet saying Tuesday's violence was a hate crime, but Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop had this to say.
There's no question it was an attack on the Jewish community. There's no other way to interpret it when you look at the facts.
Also today, authorities announced that the 2 shooters may have been involved in another murder. Investigators believe Anderson and Graham killed Uber driver Michael Rumberger. His body was found in the trunk of his car in Bayonne over the weekend. You may recall Detective Seals was looking into that case when he was shot twice in the shoulder and in the head. And as we talk about Detective Seals, there has been an incredible outpouring of support for his family in the last...
Yeah. You see that? You see how the propaganda worked? So the mayor completely ignored the facts and was like, yo, it has to be an attack on the Jewish community. No, it was a shooting gone bad. They killed the cop. The cop that had nothing to do with it. He was investigating somebody getting stuffed in the trunk of an Uber. And then they went into the store to run for cover. And as you could see, the police Swiss cheesed them. And they were covering up something. So they utilized the rules of a Hebrew attack to do what? To make fear, to spread propaganda, right? Rabbi stabbed New. So there was a lot of stuff going on in New York towards the lead up of 2020 with these people. I don't know if y'all are familiar with it, so I have to show you, because New York is the liberal empire of the Yahudi nation, right? So you got to we pay attention to the things that are going on in New York, because those are having ripple effects around the world. All right. So this was the New Year's Eve stabbing in New York, where they said this man came into the rabbi and stabbed 5 people at a Hanukkah party, right? They said that he came and stabbed 5 people at a Hanukkah party. They didn't catch him at the scene. They caught him later in Harlem. They didn't catch him at the scene. They caught him in Harlem. Rabbi dies 3 months after the Hanukkah attack, right? Look at his face. He's like, where am I doing? Where am I going? He had the COVID on before the COVID. Talk black to me. Why is he dressed up for the COVID before the COVID? So these are the landlords, because there's people watching this from places where you probably never seen this sect of Jews. These are the Hasidics. These are the ultra orthodox. The rabbis owed him that money. He probably was bringing little boys to them or something. You don't know what was going on. Yeah, the cop definitely was. Yeah, they said the cop was he was selling drugs he was an undercover drug bust or a gun bust, and he got clapped up by homeboy, and homeboy ran into the store. And based off of what they found on his social media, they said that he was a Hebrew, because he might have posted, a passage as a Corinthians or something. And that's how they're determining these things. So we're saying that this is all propaganda. This is all propaganda. Yeah, Cuomo made the trip. You damn right Cuomo made the trip. Cuomo might be in on the whole thing. Cuomo got to show up. These people own New York City. These are the people who own the city, right?
I'm a performer. Always have been and always will be.
So federal hate crimes, they put it against homeboy, who they said was the stabber. I ain't really hearing much about that after that. But yeah, so there's been a lot of there's been all of this anti-Semite talk in New York City since the beginning of the year. This is nothing new, right? And they've been utilizing a lot of that fear and that hatred that they got for the Goyim, right? Because you don't think this inspires hatred amongst their people. You don't think that this makes them want to poison. You don't think that will make. You don't think what was going on in the top of the year would make them say, you know what? I'm gonna push. I'm gonna help. Do anything in my power to get rid of these Goyams, or these people who we deem to be monkeys. So coincidentally, the same place that the stabbing took place is the same place where the coronavirus, the first place that it showed up in all of New York, was the same place where that man just stabbed them priest up, bro. Right? Look, coronavirus kills more than 70 New York City rabbis, priests, and ministers. All right? So all of these people who got God on their side, they died. Right? 44 rabbis. Look, at least no, damn, my bad. At least 60 rabbis have died, according to a tally of Jewish media reports, with at least 20 deaths in the Hasidic enclave of Borough Park, where the NYPD have broken up several large funerals in recent weeks for violating social distancing. Right? So the epicenter of the COVID-19 in all of New York City, in a big ass city like New York with millions upon millions of people, right? Millions of people. The first place that it popped off was in Rockland County. Let's go and see, because I'm bringing the receipts tonight so we can have a better understanding about some of the things that be taking place and we don't even have an idea about because so much going on. Rockland. Epicenter, right? Hot spots. Hold on. There you go. First corona cases show up in Rockland. Cases hit 44 in New York, 4,000 under quarantine. So they come in with the 44, which is the bloodletting number. When you see 44, you know blood. And you got to remember who speaks in gematria, who speaks with these numbers the most. You know who speaks with the numbers, the same people that use the alpha beta. Their language is a language of numbers and letters. It's not the regular English language that they utilize. So when you see them speaking with numbers, understand that's how the Kabbalah works. That's how these Kabbalists work. They deal with numbers because numbers mean words in their language. So they own the newspapers, they own the magazines, they own all of these things. So you don't think that they're speaking in code to each other. When you see 44, 44 is blood. All right. The etymology of 44 is blood. They keep throwing these fours out there. So when you see them throw them fours, okay. So the first corona cases were in the same place where the brother was accused of stabbing up those rabbis in the beginning of the year and whatnot in this Jewish area. The same Jewish area, they got the measles. And as a result of them getting the measles, they made mandatory vaccinations for all children in New York City before the coronavirus. Remember that? So it's already mandatory vaccinations for everybody, all of the children's and everything, no exemption. They did that before the COVID hit, so Negroes wouldn't riot. Because if they did it after the pandemic, there would be a riot. But they did it before the pandemic, so nobody said anything. They just was doing like debates and they were arguing and they were upset about it. But they was not necessarily, people didn't feel threatened by it. But now in hindsight, with this vaccine coming, if you can't opt out because they already checkmated that. They already checkmated that. You dig? So then the first cases, right? Now, boom. The first cases, now New York is the epicenter. Right? It started in Rockland County, right? And you see how it spirals. Now New York is the epicenter. So they blamed it on black people. They said it's a black disease. They said it's in the slums. They said it's in the ghetto, right? You got to remember how they use words and whatnot. You got to be careful with those words. You know, they might be talking about these people that are originally from the ghetto. So it started out in their community, and then it spilled out into New York City, right? The death toll surged 100,000, right? The worldwide death toll was at 100,000, and New York was at the epicenter of this biological warfare, right? And everything is intricately tied into these same people that Nick had to apologize to. Why is that? Fauci is one of them, right? Fauci is one of them. Gates is one of them, right? Why are they tied in? The dude that's working, what's his name? Jared Kushner. He has his hands all in it. He's part of the Corona Task Force, right? Is tearing through Tel Aviv and whatnot. It's killing all of these rabbis. You know, what's going on? What's going on? So there's so many things that are taking place right in our face. So going back to the whole thing about this, these people and their fear campaigns and their pity parties, and the fact that they do not want you to know not only who they are, they do not want you to know who you are. That's why they throw millions of dollars to people who look like us to keep us asleep. They want us to be dumbed down, dumb niggas. You know, they want us to be retarded. Look, 17 people shot in New York City on Monday. Crime rate allegedly at highest since the 2000s.
Literally now to the point where they're taking matters into their own hands. And Dan, I just got off with the phone with police, and they tell me the 17-year-old who was here at the George Washington houses overnight and shot in the head has now died. The suspects got out of the car here on 2nd Avenue and then blasted the victim right here on the sidewalk. You can see the evidence markers documenting where those bullets are here on the sidewalk. This says the mayor and the police commissioner are now being scrutinized after disbanding an anti-crime unit, taking guns off the street, which is followed by a spike in gun violence. Literally now to the point where they're taking matters into their own hands. And Dan, I just got off with the
That's
phone
called
with
drill.
the 17-year-old who was here at the George Washington houses overnight and shot in the
That's
head
called drill.
has now died. The suspects got out of the car here on 2nd Avenue and then blasted the victim right here on the sidewalk. You can see the evidence markers documenting where those bullets are here on the sidewalk. This says the mayor and the police commissioner are now being scrutinized after disbanding an anti-crime unit, taking guns off the street, which is followed by a spike in gun violence.
18 people blasted by bullets in New York City in just 24 hours. The latest, before midnight today, a 17-year-old boy at the George Washington houses shot in the head in East Harlem. Hours earlier in Canarsie, Brooklyn, 5 people in 3 separate shootings.
That's
were
the
wounded in
Flossie.
broad daylight drive-bys that
That's
may be
the
connected.
Flossie.
The concern that we have with all 3 of these shooting incidents is there was a white 4-door sedan involved in each one of the shootings.
27, 28, 29, 30 flipping walkers on a street where a 1-year-old, where a mother can't even change her clothes. And y'all think this is right?
Earlier in the day, a toddler, DeVell Gardner Jr., just 22 months old, claimed as the youngest victim in the city's latest summer scourge of gun violence.
I just told her that we're here for her, and none of us can imagine what she's going through, but we're going to be here for her. We're going to try and help her.
Canarsie, that's the woo, okay? When you see them talking about Canarsie, that's the Flossie. That's Pop Smoke in them. That's the Pop Smoke war. That's the shit that Peter Rosenberg, Ebro, and all of these quote-unquote weirdos in New York City are promoting. They're promoting the gang wars. It's called Brooklyn Drill. If you listening to the Blickies, if you listening to Chef G, if you listening to Pop Smoke, all of that is Brooklyn. Fabio Foreign, all of that is about young black men killing each other. They're at war, and it's a real war. They're really shooting at each other. They're really hopping out. You saw They just said the car did 4 drills in one day, right? So Canarsie is the Flossie. That's the Flossie. That's a gang territory for the Wu. The Wu, that's Pop Smoking them. You know what I'm talking about?
The shootings
27, 28, 29.
concern that we have with all three
People in 3 separate shootings were wounded in broad daylight drive-bys that may be connected.
the concern that we have with all 3 of these shooting incidents is there was a white 4-door sedan involved in each one of the shootings.
27, 28, 29, 30 flipping markers on a street where a 1-year-old, where the mother can't even change her clothes. And y'all think this is right?
Earlier in the day, a toddler, DeVell Gardner Jr., just 22 months old, claimed as the youngest victim in the city's latest summer scourge of gun violence.
I just told her that we're here for her, and none of us can imagine what she's going through, but we're going to be here for her. We're going to try and help her in every way and try and make sure no other mom goes through it.
The mayor seen consoling the baby's mother on their Bedford-Stuyvesant stoop as community activists called for a ceasefire.
I'm talking to the streets. You know who's killing who?
No borough was spared from the carnage, but Brooklyn was the bloodiest.
We talking about what police doing to us. Look what we doing to ourselves. What does Black Lives Matter if you're killing yourselves?
I checked with police, and none of these cases have been solved just yet, so they need the community's help. There's the number right there on your screen, 1-800-577-TIPS. Especially important to try and get these killers off the streets before any more carnage has been done. As for the community, well, they are planning a march across the Brooklyn Bridge tomorrow, calling for an end to this gun violence. Live in East Harlem, I'm Anthony DiLorenzo, Pix 11 News.
So, of course, you know, the hood, right? The same hood that they are marching against. Remember, I didn't show you everything that was going on with the anti-Jewish thing in the beginning of the year in New York City. But, you know, the anti-Negro sentiments by Jews in New York City is very high right now because of the shootings, because of the violence, because of the fear, because they think we got the COVID and they the ones with the COVID, because of Nick Cannon, because of Farrakhan. There's all of these things going on because of Black Lives Matter, but everything, they're behind everything. They're behind Black Lives Matter, right? With Soros, with the LBGT, right? Because in New York City, you know who sits on the top of the pyramid of the LBGT Castle Grayskull? You guessed it. It's the liberal Jews, right? That's who sits on the top of that. So if you want to talk about child trafficking, if you want to talk about Anthony Weiner, if you want to talk about all of this stuff dealing with children coming up missing and sexual deviancy, they have their hands in that. If you want to deal with George Soros and Black Lives Matter and the co-opting of the quote-unquote conscious community or the conscious movement by the woke marketplace, they have a hand in that. If you want to talk about pedogate and things that are going on in Hollywood, well, guess what? They got a hand in that. If you want to talk about Me Too, where women are being abused and whatnot and being taken advantage, they have a hand in that. And even for the black people who were participating, they were participating. They were doing their devilishment with the people who historically they've always paired up to do devilishment with, and that is the real estate salesman. They do a lot of work with those people in smoky rooms and in dark places, and those people encourage our people to be deviant. That's what you see, like I said, in Hollywood. They'll get you on the set. They're like the women that were tweeting and whatnot, Sarah Silverman, like how Chelsea Handler went and got 50 Cent. Remember that? Like how you know, what was the girl that went with Laura Dern was with Common, the Rothschild was with Jay Electronica, right? The other white woman that was with Jimi Hendrix, you know, You got to be careful, bruh. A lot of our people historically have been lined up. And now you have this rise of LBGT. So Don Lemon is compromised, Lee Daniels, a whole bunch of them, because they're entangled. They're entangled with a people who, because of their religion, remember, they're following a certain mandate. And their mandate says that you are trash. Their religion says that you're cursed and that you're trash and that you're the Goyim, not the Goya, the Goyim. And you are identifying with the Ethiopian. You're identifying with the Jew, like a Dr. Ben. You're identifying with the Hebrew Israelites and the information that they're bringing. You're like, hold on, I can't debate this. This resonates with me. So if you want to go over to Israel and get it popping, you got to get through these people, and they're not trying to let you through, and they're not acknowledging you. There is a conflict of interest, and the case for separation has to be stronger, because I promise you, we could do nothing in this atmosphere because of the quote unquote, because of the extraordinary conflicts of interest. There's about 5 or 6 of them. But one of the main conflicts of interest is the fact that nobody is willing to identify who God's chosen children, who the lost children of Israel are, and who the lost tribes are. We got to get past that. We have to figure that one out. Who are these books speaking of? I don't think they speak about y'all. Is Nick? Yeah, he's going to Israel. Yeah, he's going to Israel. That's what he said. So the woke marketplace, for everybody who is not familiar, it is a sacred space where commerce is commenced. Right? It's almost like the Silk Road. The Silk Road is an open air marketplace. It doesn't devalue things. It doesn't diminish it. It doesn't debase it. What does it do? It gives it an identity. It identifies it. It identifies it, and it gives it its validity. That's it. The woke marketplace is where people come to trade and barter and sell products. The Breakfast Club is the woke marketplace. Vlad TV is the woke marketplace. When you pay WorldStar, woke marketplace. When you pay on Instagram, when you tap into one of the influencers and you say, hey, wear my shirt, help me with my sales, woke marketplace. There's nothing to be ashamed of when people are in the woke marketplace. Charlemagne the God, he wrote a book, right? And then he wrote another book. Why? Because he realized that he wanted to tap into the income stream inside of the woke marketplace. Now, Forbes magazine, right? They have a lot of information about the woke marketplace. And if you're not into reading the magazine, you just think things are going on around you and you don't know where these things started from. You know what I'm saying? You won't realize that this is a marketing scheme, that this is a part of a marketing plan, right? That billionaires have gotten together and they pivot their companies, right? They pivot their companies, meaning that they change the direction of their company or the brand identity of their company and whatnot. And they do what? They cater, they pander, they have bags, they have available monies, right? They allocate funds, right? They allocate funds to do what? to feed the marketplace. You understand? They allocate funds to feed the marketplace. Now, when these same people control personalities like rappers, actors, and they own brands like Wild 'N Out and things of that nature, they own these things. They have ownership over these brands and whatnot. What do they begin to do? Because these people sit down with marketing agencies and they say to these marketing agencies, I want to sell something socially conscious. I'm tired of selling things that are killing people. I want to clean my hands. I want to get into, look, this article is 2 years old, right? Generation Z now wields 44 billion in buying power. So that alone means attention must be paid, right? Black Dot said attention is the new currency, and we're in the attention economy. So full attention is going to be paid to Generation Z because of the fact they got a bag, right? Forbes magazine is a magazine that people who own businesses read, not customers. The hustlers read it. The people who are looking for some customers, they looking for something to sell to somebody. So Forbes magazines provides them with the stock tips. It provides them with the information. It provides them with the data, right? So once they get the data, they're able to get investors and they're able to allocate funds based off of the data. Because an article like this is somebody in a stock market. This is a wet dream for someone who's in a stock market who wants to bet on futures. They want to buy stocks in futures or they want to buy stocks in certain companies. This is like a stock tip right here. This is an excellent article to jumpstart anybody in the investment field to say, yo, I want to put my money in this woke shit because this is about to blizzo. Look at the numbers. This emerging consumer group, right? You're only a customer in the presence of the hustlers. Jay-Z said it. So if I'm a hustler, I'm looking for consumer groups. And whatever the consumer group is into, whatever the niche is, I'm going to pivot my company to be a part of that consumer group. I'm going to sell something to them. I'm going to find out what they need and I'm going to fill in the void. That's how you become rich. This emerging consumer group, born after the mid-1990s through the early 2000s, is set to reach 2.6 billion by 2020. They're the digital natives who came of age with smartphones, online shopping, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, whose taste habits and buying triggers are disrupting the retail industry. New on-demand retail generation. Generation Z is the future, as this population will represent 40% of the population by 2020, says Oliver Chen, a retail analysis with Cohen in a research note. Now go up, look up Cohen. Go and look up all of the retail analysis. That's where the information, that's where the data is. It is important to understand that creativity, internationalism, and ambition are the hallmarks of this new generation. What does this mean for retail? We believe brands will need to co create ideas and values with customers. Companies will need to offer customers compelling shortcuts, multitasking opportunities, low commitment levels, and attention in products which are ready on demand. Right? So, when you see these companies begin to cap and cape for black causes, right, and black businesses and all of this pandering, right, you got to remember they already planned this. You know what I'm talking about? They've already planned this. They understand what it is. They know what to do because these people are planning for the future. And these are they have market analysis. They know the power of the dollar. So they're able to weigh out certain things and then they make a bet on these groups of people. Then these groups of people feel entitled and they feel like, oh my goodness, somebody's paying attention to me. Oh my goodness, they like me. Right? Look, there's a Green New Deal. Think a Green New Deal is a great way to save the planet. want to fight inequality so everyone has a chance to live a high quality life. What are all of the rappers pivoting to? Their conversations. Let's see which political leaders and corporations put their wokeness to work once we get over this nasty SARS coronavirus. Tens of millions of unemployed, rent due, college plans canceled, Americans will be waiting. Talk to an international investment fund manager today, and they're all about environmental, social, and corporate responsibility. Even the World Economic Forum has made it a talking point for a good 10 years now, largely in response to the old lefty, anti-neoliberal World Social Forum that eventually fizzed out. The captains of industry and finance realized they had to rethink capitalism so the rabble wouldn't rise up against it. They got woke. They all talk about diversity, equality, justice. They're all fighting the power. The post pandemic period is their chance to prove their woke street cred, right? When the dust settles, companies manufacturing in China should move portions of their manufacturing to the United States. Think of it as the New Deal from the Franklin Delano Roosevelt years post Great Depression. It put people to work building things, not just selling hot dogs and ringing people out at the new neighborhood Walmart. Okay, so nothing is by haphazard. Nothing is being done haphazardly. Nothing is being done by mistake. All of this is all a plan. You don't think that they could reach out to Black Lives Matter about a year ago or 2 years ago and tell them what their plans are and say, we need your help. We need you to get out here. We need you to galvanize your people. We need you to come to. We need you to reach out to other organizations. We got money for them. It's all a psyop, y'all. It's all a psyop. This is all a op, right? This is all a op. So stop falling for it. The woke people are part of corporate America. This is all a marketing plan. It's all a marketing scheme. It's been thought of by the higher ups. So their businesses are socially conscious. So of course the people who they own have to become socially conscious too. So they're telling these Negroes, become vegan, eat the Impossible Burger. Not only become vegan, join a charity, go march somewhere, get a picket sign, make a riot song. All of these are all marketing schemes. These are not genuine. These are ingenuous. So the woke marketplace cannot necessarily be trusted. You selling shea butter, sea moss, echinacea, whatever elixir that you may have cooked up, you have the right to go into that marketplace and get to the bag. You got, look, she wanna mess with the woo. She wanna mess with the woo. Right? If you got hemp, CBD, marijuana, right? If you got hemp, if you got anything that you have that they need, you got to swoop in there like Balky and them swooped into the hood and took over 7-Eleven, right? Hold on. Right? Shout out to my stream chasers. This is game that we going on, that the stream chasers will be dealing with this on a not every day, not a daily basis, but at least 3 or 4 times out of the week, we're going to be doing live streams and we're going to be dropping information about business, about entrepreneurship, about a different frequency outside of, what somebody did to us or what somebody's doing to us. And it's no offense to the people who feed that kind of energy, or feed into that kind of energy. But that's not my wave. Everybody has a lane to occupy. I occupy the lane of the victors. You occupy the lane of the victims. Everybody got a role to play. You know what I'm talking about? I occupy the lane of Corona rising. You occupy the lane of coronavirus. We are not the same. You know what I'm talking about? We're not the same. It's apples and oranges. Hold on. Hold on. I had to go grab a few things like we belong to an industry. We belong to an industry. We cannot let people sell nothing to us when we have skills and we have gifts. We have talents. And our mamas they gave birth to us to create, right? Look, for the ladies, right? While you sitting there reading Nick Cannon's apology, you could be rolling your face. You know what I'm talking about? While you sitting there listening to a Professor Griff interview, you could be rolling your face. They said Panic is gonna be on Black Magic tomorrow. You could be rolling your face while you do that. You know, this is a stress reliever. You know what I'm talking about? It gets your blood flowing. I put these in a freezer, right? So this is industrious. This is an industry, right? Look at the obsidian. This is an industry. It matches my stones, right? Look at the pink quartz with the copper. This is an industry, right? This is our stuff. I can't buy nothing from a European who dug some stones out of the Americas. Bro, that's my land. What you talking about? I'm taking this back. Take that. Like, what you're not selling me back my stuff. We don't do that. We're not no da-dun-da-duns, right? We got the Paradise Moss. Where my people at that need the sea moss gel. You know, all of these things. There's so many industries. I'm just giving you a glimpse. Like, I could be in here for days showing you all of the different stuff. You know, we have aspirations to be like an Amazon, a fulfillment site, right? We have aspirations to be manufacturers. We have aspirations to go around the world. There's my email right here. We have aspirations to go around the world and to highlight and to shine light on different entrepreneurs, different creators, different businesses, you know, different inventors, all different brands and whatnot, brand ambassadors. All of these things are in the cards. You know, if you out there and you want to be a part of, you know, the stream chasers, all I need you to do is hit me up. Yeah, we got amethyst. We got the fire amethyst. Put the link up. The link up for what? The link up for what? This stuff that I just showed you is going to be on the mark125th.com. The mark125th.com. That's coming. I mean, it's up right now, but that's going to be on the Mark one, not my Gmail, on the website, the mark125th.com. Am I part of the shifters? Do I look like I was left off of Bad and Bougie? We talking about? Am I part of the shifters? Yeah, I am a shifter. Like, I can't be unpart of a shifters. You know what I mean? Like, I don't unbecome something. If I wasn't a part of the shifters, you would know. I'd let that be known. And don't worry about who's in the shifters. You know what I'm talking about? Just pull up the next time we pull up. You'll see us when we pull up. You'll see who's in the shifters then. You know what I'm talking about? We might have Ziggy Marley with us at that point. The brother was that I'm gonna show you what he asked me. I'm answering the question. He asked me that. Are you part of the shifters, brother? You still with the shifters? Yeah, I'm with the shifters, bro. You know, you're living through the shift right now. Like you're in the throes of a paradigm shift. So this is our work right here. This is all of our work. This is the work, as you can see. Is there a second wave of the virus coming? I'm not gonna speak that into existence. No. It's a lot of propaganda. It's a second wave of fear coming. I was in Florida when they was talking about the coronavirus was rising up, and I'm here to let you know that was a lie. 19 Keys was there, Bashir, his brother, Blue Pill was there. We were right there in the epicenter on South Beach for like a whole week. There wasn't no coronavirus. There wasn't no panic in Miami. People wasn't. They was just wearing masks and whatnot, and they were trying to slow down the parties and people from really turning up. But it wasn't no coronavirus. There wasn't no people running around sick underneath that sun. What was going on? What was going on was that sun was beaming like nobody's business. That's what was going on. What was going on was they had a dust storm coming to Florida, Georgia, and other parts. In Texas, there was a dust storm. Now, Florida, Georgia, and Texas, all of the people got to stay inside. And when they come outside, they got to wear masks. But it wasn't no pandemic. It was the Sahara dust storm came and ran up in Georgia, Florida, right? Georgia, Florida, and what is that? It was Georgia, Florida, and Texas. That's the same place that the dust storm came to. Yeah, the heat down there is different. It's a different sun. You know it's a different sun, right? It's that I told you when I was out there, I had to take my glasses off because no, I had to get a pair of sunglasses because the sun was making me cry. I'm not, you know, when you tear, I'm not talking about tear. I was crying. It was burning my eyes, yo. Real talk. It was burning my eyes, bro. The dust plume was from an asteroid that hit in Africa. Are you serious? Are you? Give me the article where that's the truth. Are you serious? That's from an asteroid? Look, somebody said they got fine. It's blasphemous. I promise you, they're lying. You know what I mean? Somebody sent me a text and was like, they got people 25-year-old to 40 years old hooked up to the to the ventilators. I'm like, yo, they fell for that. They fell for that. They let them rock them to sleep. Okay. Yeah, they didn't want you to know about that dust. They didn't want you to know about that dust. But the dust made them tell people go inside of the house. I don't know about no coronavirus. That dust storm made them come in the house. And they got caught cooking the numbers in Florida. Look, I'll show you real quick before we get out of here. They got caught cooking the numbers right, you know, just to show you how fast the ancestors were. Yeah, my Instagram ain't pulled up. They was cooking the numbers. They was cooking the numbers. You know, it was 5 suns in Africa. Corona rising. Corona rising. Corona rising. And we out, and they got people out here apologizing. Corona's rising, and niggas is out here apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry. And ninjas is out here apologizing. They made 40,000 a body. Yeah, and Trump want the numbers to get sent to the White House. I don't trust nobody in the White House. I think that they're more fugazi than the CDC. It's a bunch of white nationalists and people who are, they still hate life. They're not my friends. So we just got to maintain, stay outside in the sun. You don't got to be all around people. Get on your roof or get in your backyard, but get in that sun, get in that water, get in the water, get in the sun, right? And tap in, right? Old girl got fired for not manipulating the numbers. It's a farce. It's a farce like everything else is. These people is a farce. Their industries are a farce. That's why we said conscious industry. I need y'all to go and get the tickets for this lecture that's going to be exactly 7 days from now. Because I'm about to tap in and unplug and do my research and go all the way in. Like I said, and I'm not going to be on these internets forever either. I'm not going to be on the internets forever. So we're going to be doing these classes. But the idea is not to be doing this forever. Because, good things don't last forever. You know what I'm talking about? So we're gonna be, we're gonna have this online university, but all of this YouTube stuff, yeah, something got to give because they playing games. You know what I mean? They snatching channels. I think it was $30 for the ticket. All right, 30, because this is solution based information. This is not even like a lecture. This is a workshop. I mean, it is some lecture stuff to it, but I'm giving y'all bars in this. I'm giving you information that you could utilize. And then, of course, Dark Matter Time is 2 days after this. I will be hosting Dark Matter Time in the A, all right, per request from my brother AA. So I will be the host, and that is going to be fire, all right? So I definitely need y'all to be in Atlanta. Let me pull up the flyer for that. But the link for this is in the chat room. And I'm talking about, make sure y'all go and get that. All of my KT aliens, check your emails because we send out a blast. Check if it's not in your emails, check your spam because sometimes it'll go to the spam. But we sent the blast out today for the tickets. So go ahead. If you ever been to any of my classes, you're on my email list. So everybody gets the same blast and whatnot. So definitely go and check that out. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, we are streaming the AA event. Yes, that's being streamed. That's being streamed. That's being streamed. You will be able to see that on the internets. Worry not. You don't have to be there physically, but you already know. Being there physically, you watch certain things and then you witness other things. So be a witness. Come through. Be there live, right? Be there live. Be able to meet AA, Red and the Blue, and all of the other people that's coming out and whatnot. Okay, it was a dust storm from the Sahara. Yes. So dark matter timing. The myths decoded. Now, if you know anything about Blue and AA, you know that they about to go ham hocks. Feel me? You know they about to go ham hocks. You know they about to drop all kind of information. So metaphysical, kabbalistic, occultic, pull up. You already know that the merch is gonna be in the building. The gold, the Kings County, Savvy Genesis, Alistair Whoopi, the music, the Twin CD, Scorpio King. You might even get the new album. Who knows? AA, he's gonna be there with Dog Food. He's gonna be there with his other albums. Pull up. Be in the building. If you in Atlanta and the A, you on your ATL, KTL, yeah, I need to see you. We need to build because we're doing a workshop the day before as well. So this lecture is on the 25th, but there's also a workshop on the 24th. So yeah, man, tap in. All right. And with that being said, you know, I want to say it's been fun, but all good things have to come to an end. Shout out to Professor Griff. Let's make sure we hold down Professor Griff because, like I said, when the Mika Johnson thing happened, me personally, Red Pill, I was there for my brother, right? People wasn't wanting to stand with Professor Griff because they thought if they stood with him that their bags were going to slow up. Remember, they put the bag in front of Professor Griff. I seen it happen already. I seen it happen already. Yeah, 3 hours. What's a 3 hour drive? Put on a Blog Talk radio show. Those are 3 hours. Just drive and listen to one of the Melanin Mondays. Pick one, right? Those are 3 hours. By the time you finish with the Melanin Monday, you'll be in the A, right? So you could just listen into it the whole ride down, or one of the classic block. I suggest you pull up an AA Rashid classic from the Blog Talk era days. That'll blow your top. That'll blow your mind. I would suggest you drive to Atlanta listening to one of those, or one of his classic lectures, like what was that? Avatarzan, How to Write a Bible, the Black Bible, I believe. Fear of the Black Illuminati. Yeah, he got some classics. So I'm coming back to H-Town before the summer's out. So Professor Griff needed brothers to stand with him. And I dropped everything and I ran to Harlem and I stood with him. Black Dot was there and we was on Sarnetta's platform. And I stood with him. That's the day I debuted Made for This. That's the day that I debuted Made for This. If anybody is it remembers, if you haven't smoking too much GMO and you remember that episode, I premiered Made for This and Professor Griff was there and we was talking about, Lord Jamal was there. You know I'm talking about? Shout out to Lord Jamal. Was he there for this? I don't know. But I hope he was. I hope he stands with Professor Griff. But Lord Jamal was there and all of that. And we stood up for Griff. And this was 4 years ago. And I'm here still standing him. Still standing with the brother. Still standing with the God. Right? I'm still standing strong with Griff. Right? And remember, I put it on a record. I just did a lecture with Griff and Nova, right? And in 2009, I believe, no, 2010, we're in 2020, 10 years ago in Atlanta, one of my first lectures that I did with a legend, right? Where I stood on the same stage as one of the legends, it was Professor Griff. And it was called Fear of a Black Planet. That was the name of the lecture. Fear of a Black Planet. We did it in Little 5 Points in the same place where Five Thai is at. It was called Luna. It was a Mexican restaurant. My dude, Ghetto Shaman, he put that together. You said put Lord Jamal on your show. I probably will. I'll get on Lord Jamal's show. You know, out of all of the shows that I would rock with, I would rock with Lord Jamal because I've interviewed Lord Jamal about 3 times and he always kept it tall with me. And that's one of my childhood rappers. And me and Grand Pooba is mad cool. And me and Sadat X met before, and he's cool. So I rock with their whole movement. They raised me. Grand Pooba was teaching me how to drip. Well, not really, because I knew how to drip before Grand Pooba came around. But I was impressed how he used to put it together because he represented a high level of fashion when he was at his heights. So yeah, I'm glad you know that's what set it off. When y'all tell the story, make sure y'all tell it right. We set it off. Now we didn't set it off. We set it off with Scorpion King. Scorpion King was the first song that I feel set off this new generation of God hop and introduced. Well, Made for This introduced the conscious community to Cambada because y'all did not know who Cambada was. Y'all did not know who Cam was before Made for This. Cause they was like, who's that? Who's homie? What's his name? Bambada? No, retard. Cambada. Yeah. It's a different energy. What is Valentine dropping Sunday? You and Blue is on a flyer. Yeah, Valentine is dropping a webinar. A webinar. Thank you, Tony. Valentine is dropping a webinar. I'm not in the webinar. He just put me on a flyer. You know? But I'm not in the webinar, but I'm there to support him. I think by him putting us on the flyer, he's just showing y'all who the future is. Everybody on the flyer is the new teachers. We the new master teachers. And my master teacher co-signed it. I mean, look at the flyer. Let's go back to the flyer. By my master teacher identifying, he's showing he's showing y'all because y'all don't know who I am in relations to my master teacher. So the way that works, they need permission from people in this community. So he's giving you permission. He's showing you who's holding the torch. He's showing you who he sees in his eyes as the future. He's showing you as my master teacher, he's graduating us and he's showing us, he's showing me and my brother Panic, AA, Griff, Isaiah, Rich. He's saying that y'all are the future. You know, thank you for holding it up. Y'all are part of the paradigm shift. So we're going to run 2020 to 2030 if y'all don't mind. You feel me? And by 2030, my son will take over. But we're gonna run 2020 to 2030. Not just us, of course. There's many other people. I don't want to be egotistical and act like, you know, but yeah, we got work to do. And once I get the word, you know, I'm a shooter. So when I get the word, I'm not on, you know, when I get the word, I'm shooting. You know? Mimosa Simone. Oh yeah, that was one of my best songs. I got another song that's similar to like, oh yeah, the Loaded Lux can buy. Loaded Lux better come with some better bars that he did in that last rap battle though. I promise you that. He better tap into because he going up against Daylight. He better tap into some God bars. You know? But yeah, I'm about to be out of here, y'all. Let me end this with Made for This. I give thanks to all of y'all. Make sure y'all hit the Cash App. Yeah. I'm talking about make sure y'all hit the Cash App. Wifey is like, she's looking at the clock like, homie, you got some, you know, need to come tuck me in. So yeah, I'm about to go do that. And yeah, I'll get up with y'all on Monday. All right. And we're gonna end it up. Rest in peace, Monk.
Anthem on the track.
Monk is a martyr. You know what I mean? He left us during the coronavirus epidemic, pandemic. So rise in power to Monk. Monk been out there with us on 2/5 from day one. So, you know, it just hurts. When I see the video and I see Monk, I remember the times that we spent out there, and you know, it's a good memory, y'all. All right, love and light.
Anthem on the track. Yeah. Yeah. King shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Look, man. If you're gonna step into this field and do this work, and we're gonna come back and have a real heart-to-heart conversation, because going back to what I said before, if y'all see what Nick Cannon is going through and he folded, but y'all don't put no respect on the teachers' names, y'all don't give us what we need. We need to build. We need. If I want to build my own media empire, can I depend on the people to assist me in that? Because y'all don't want me to sit down with the Goldstein. Y'all don't want me to sign a contract. What is the equivalent to signing a $10 million deal with Universal? What does that look like independent? Because this is not about starving and struggling. This is not about hurting. Those days are over. Technology is here and we're going to live our lives. So if you're not made for this, don't leave it up to the people that are doing. This is not to be tried at home. You can't, this is not a double dutch. You can't jump in and out of consciousness. If you're playing in the woke field, stay in the woke field. Don't sit with the conscious people, because we're in a different time. We're in a different time, my genius. You know what I'm talking about? We're on a different time. We don't abide by the same. We don't pledge allegiance to the same people that you pledge allegiance to. So, yeah, made for this.
From the city where the bums rich. Skyscrapers block the rays when the sun hits. One time coming, niggas run quick. By the time a baby walk, he got a gun grip. I was made for this. 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 I'm not a product of the cages that they raised us in. Bred to be a king, I'm not a slave to this. I was made for 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 this. I'm not a product of the cages that they raised us in. Bred to be a king, I'm not a slave to this.
They don't know fact from fiction. They don't know that blacks is missing. They don't know they trapped in prison. They don't know the path to prison was a math decision. They don't know the wrath is quickened. They don't know the ass they kissing on the path of mission to put their ass in prison. They don't know black religion, fact and fiction. They don't know mama didn't leave them niggas half the kitchen with half a chicken. Fact or fiction. We still hot, we still noble. Red and blue pill global. No matter the language, we still moguls. We lost Gil Scott, then we lost Gil Noble. Exercise the right to live like it is. The revolution will not be televised, it's being digitized. On the come up, it's like watching the midget rise. Sleeping giants grow another 20 feet tall with each alliance. I can teach the science, I tear an instrumental down before I lay my pencil down. I'm going down to Tinseltown to burn the temples down and cap it off like dental crowns. And my rights still reserved. Fear of a black Illuminati. I might just build with the Bilderberg to come and kill you nerds. I'm shining like a Grammy host on the shores of Miami coast. My Moringa plug looking like Sammy Sosa, the old one, when he was well done like Granny's roast. The ancestors sponsor this. I don't know them niggas, all they do is talking conscious shit. We living it, we in the streets like House of Consciousness. KTL in the ATL, MIA, NYC. Multi-dimension like MIB. We are not the same, I am a sovereign. We are not the same, I am a problem.
I was made for this. 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 I'm not a product of the cages that they raised us in. Bred to be a king, I'm not a slave to this. I was made for 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 this. I'm not a product of the cages that they raised us in. Bred to be a king, I'm not a slave to this.
The world is changing.